I have never read a single bit of Anne Rice's work.
Me neither.
You would like it.
It is very good.
You would like it a lot.
Could I get help with Discord? Because I just did Twitter.
Is Me6 gonna do
She's the reason I wrote
So I have me.
it.
So okay. So here's the thing. I have Me6 set up to do it again.
Mine is Peter as a people.
I also have Carl. I think I tried getting it, but he's not going to ping everybody.
Okay.
It's mostly an experiment to see if I can get Carl to fucking do it.
Reminder ball.
Hey, Erica. I know we just started the stream, but
Yeah.
now is not the time for you to die.
Jake is going to teach me how to Carlbot so that we can put reminders for the house chat for like when trash day is.
I need to do another Carl bot for
I'm pretty good about remembering that one.
for just
We've-
bringing up the Tails,
But
bringing
if
up a
Wants
Tails
to do
discussion.
that.
But if we have a
I did a
reminder,
whole bunch
then
of
it
work
will
on
be something that we
Tails
don't absolutely
stuff
have to
today.
track.
Okay, I'll eventually get back to looking at it so
I'm
we
hoping
can.
to finish it tonight.
Okay.
actually.
Let me know when it's done because then I'm gonna start.
Putting it in.
Yeah, start getting a tell sheet because right now the tell.
The tell command leads nowhere.
The tell command says, oh shoot, what was it again? It was something like, I don't think he's taking my calls.
Alright, Carl posted.
Yes. Okay, but he didn't do everyone.
Correct.
Which is, okay, which means there was something in my original post I did incorrectly. I don't think I can do the at everyone sign when I'm filling it in. There's actually a specific like bracket for everyone. Okay, which means wow, Carlbot already got to it?
Yeah.
Jesus. What a fucking turnaround.
Carl's a fast turtle.
Should I
Carl's-
just add everyone myself?
No, because Me6 is going to do it.
Okay.
I'll just... Oh, this is a fucking struggle until...
Did you hear about Usain Bolt having a pet tortoise that is the fastest tortoise in the tortoise races? So the fastest person on the planet owns the fastest, slowest animal on the planet.
Oh fuck.
Are you
That
okay?
is not
That's
true.
my
We saw that.
Goddamn
Was that
alarm.
on that video?
I'm a lot slower than a tortoise.
Hmm?
I'm a lot slower than a tortoise.
No, it wasn't on that. So there is
Oh,
a
my
lizard.
car.
Oh.
Not a lizard.
idiot.
Is it a
Plankton?
skink?
Skink. I like skinks.
They live in underwater caves and they don't move for 12 and a half years at a time. And they only move to wake up and fuck and then they stop moving.
Oh my gosh, can I be that skink in my next life?
Wait, I'm sorry, why were you talking about cicadas?
That's every 7 years.
No, there's some that are every 13 years.
Uh,
They actually, there's several species of cicadas, and they all come out at prime numbers. Because it is the way to least likely run into a year where multiple species of cicadas will wake up. Random nature facts, because I'm a fucking nerd.
the only reason I know there are more than one type of cicada is because of Animal Crossing. Because I was very young and I was catching many types of cicadas with different calls. I really like the Walker cicada call. Video games, folks.
What the fuck did you do? Did you just put a bunch of...
I ate it.
You got it.
Oh! I just saw your tweet of nothing but hard eyes, and I'm like, seriously? You're posting that in a... I didn't realize it was our shameless self-promotion, not someone else's.
Did you already get Envy's channel, honey?
No.
I got it.
I once again feel woefully unprepared, but
I did.
I shouldn't... Jade! Hopefully this is a better time for you.
I feel so sick still.
Should we have warned Fox about that?
No, because it's not contagious.
Oh. Okay.
I went to the doctor.
Good! So we're not gonna lose Vox.
No, Vox will not die.
Unless we lose Vox to the cold.
Fox is so small they might get frostbite in like under 30 seconds.
Oh.
Can we do that as a new version of Yo Mama joke?
Your mama's so skinny, she,
No, just Vox so small.
Jade, Vox is okay. They just forgot something in their car.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, actually all their food is still here. And I actually printed out their entire class Eventually, I'm going to be posting some more. I'll actually be posting. We'll be putting a link to that class in the World Anvil page for Tel. I actually need to double check to make sure that it's not a GM or that it's not a paid product.
DM's Guild.
Yeah. I don't think it is because it was in GM Binder. But it's way too high quality for me to not assume it. Yeah. How's everybody's week been? While we're reading on
Uneventful.
books. And there's me 6.
Let me see.
What's up, Rose?
It's D&D week. By the way, we're doing another giveaway this week. 10 haunting photos taken moments before disaster. I think I'm gonna go wild. That describes all of last week.
Bailey got a new T-shirt.
Oh, that's right.
It's Aizawa.
Dad Zawa.
Daddy Zawa.
Oh,
Oh yes.
No.
Katie's almost caught up on My Hero.
Yay!
I think she's nearing the end of season 3.
Is she liking it then? Sounds like if she's just powering through.
Yeah, I think we watched like all of season 2 almost in a day. I can't remember, but
Blood witches. That's really scary.
oh, by the way, I printed off the sheet in your
Yes.
class that has the companions or the spirits.
Spirits. Yes.
We had, a,
Oh, yeah.
we had a whole discussion about the spirits.
I like
All the
the
spirits.
Covenant of Shadows.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
But yes, so awesome.
How dare you.
I hope we can go visit the witches at some point so everybody can see all the different kinds.
I have a plan for them. I have a plan for everything.
Everything.
I'm not Batman, but
What are
it
you
doesn't matter.
doing?
I'm good.
All right, so welcome to Tales from the Tavern, where a bunch of nerds playing D&D. What the fuck are you?
Don't worry about it.
Is it because of your neck still?
No.
Okay.
Wait, are you talking about why I'm sitting sideways?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was concerned about because you're sitting there leaning back precariously, shoulders facing me.
I can't look too far to the left, so I gotta turn my entire body to look at
We
Jake.
have guilt,
Andrew's like,
serenity
square up, motherfucker.
here. Guilt, serenity.
That would result in both me and
You'll
Jake
throw
just
in
being
the
really sore afterwards and going, that sucked.
Roll for initiative.
All right, so a few announcements for today. So first of all, we are sponsored by Tabletop Loot.
Loot dice.
There.
There's a new class here.
Oh no.
Huh?
Correct, it did not work.
Bye, Jake.
Bye, Jake.
That definitely showed up on the mic.
Alright, well, I'm good.
I'm gonna leave now.
Time to go.
Somebody let a duck loose in the D room.
Don't sit on ducks.
Was that a homing missile? Did it just like... And then it hit? Right in the face?
We're 12.
You know what? We're gonna fucking suffer with Nightbot.
No.
Not Nightbot.
I'm gonna smack this gum really loudly so the mic picks it up.
I'll crush you.
Please.
That was an instant I needed an adult face.
Sorry, everyone.
He's not sorry.
He's having a good day.
I can tell.
How do I get to the fucking chat?
I forgot all my piercings today.
Aw. That's sad.
My face feels very bare.
Nightbot is active.
I was gonna say, your face looks a little naked.
Okay.
Who feels naked?
Jake tested it. Don't throw shit at me. What are you?
I apologize. Our bot
Correct.
situation is really stupid right now. I should just stop trying to change things.
No, Jake is not okay.
Jake is fine.
Anyway, we are sponsored by Tabletop Loot, which we will actually be doing a dice giveaway tonight. We will be doing one at the mid-roll for some of these Jewel...
Red Hot.
Those are Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah.
They are Jolly Ranchers.
No, you're right. They're Jolly Ranchers.
and then we're also doing another set of glow-in-the-dark dice.
Which one's that?
These are orange and reddish.
These are very strange.
Yeah?
Eaton candy corn.
Vox, look at these. Like, some of them are, like, frosted and some aren't.
Oh, I love that. Or like,
It's kind of like...
Parts of them
it's
are
they're,
frosted?
they're kind of marbled with the frosted and the not
yeah,
frosted.
that's very cool.
Those are Jolly Ranchers.
But yes, so we will be giving...
You're a Jolly Rancher.
those 2 sets away today. If you go to the Tabletop Loot website and enter the code Tales Tavern at checkout, you now get 20% off your next purchase of dice.
Did Nightbot kill and replace Nerdlebot?
They had a duel.
There was a sacking.
There was
There's-
there was a mutiny.
They're still fighting, I should mention.
Nerdlebot's gonna show up partway through the night and start also posting links.
I shut it down, so it shouldn't.
That's
But it's
not
Nerdlebot. It
anything.
doesn't ever do what we want.
It only works when it wants to. And that's never when we need it. So yes, we are constantly struggling with bots right now. We're just bear with us as we get through it. But yes, so Tales Tavern at Tabletop Loot. Wow, my brain just died. Hold on.
There it goes.
Oh, I might need to
You
start.
gonna make it, buddy?
We're gonna find out.
We'll see how it goes.
At least I'm not wearing pants today. I'm wearing sweatpants.
Oh. I was like, I did not see your boxers.
Yeah.
I'm just that stealthy.
Yeah, that's what he was actually doing, and while fussing with the bots, he was just stripping.
We are also a partner with Humble Bundle. Andrew, would you like to talk to us about?
Humble Choice. Humble Choice is really cool this week,
Ooh,
or this month. They've got Frostpunk,
okay.
which is a top-down survival game.
Frostpunk is very good.
Okami HD.
I already have it though.
There's a
I thought that gave
side-scrolling
6
survival
months.
game that I can't remember the name of. It's really cool. I really like the Humble Choice this month.
Oh, cool.
The true sequel.
Yeah, so if you
Yeah,
follow
there's
our
another
link,
one coming out.
make a purchase, you can give a little bit of a kickback
is
to
it
us
Okami
and
again?
get
Because the game.
games.
Yeah.
Also, just the bundles are how I managed to amass about 400 games in my Steam library.
So good.
You and I are almost on par now.
I'm just thinking about it.
Well,
now.
because you're actually signed up to
That's
Choice.
what we should have
I
done
just
yesterday.
stopped buying games.
So, that's the January one.
Well, I say stop buying games. I just keep buying individual games now.
My partner Shane's Steam library is approaching 900. He's played maybe 300 of those.
That's a
He
better
just buys
ratio
them
than
and
me.
is like,
Well,
different one.
so Humble Bundle's been doing this thing where they give away a ton of indie platformers.
Yeah.
And I
You're
don't know.
bad at platformers.
I'm really bad at platformers. But I really want us to do a stream of a platforming game I found where we build the platformer for ourselves as we play.
yeah.
And you do own it, by the way. I checked.
Yes. Because I knew I heard about it.
It is called Ultimate Chicken Horse.
I've seen
Anyway,
it played.
Well,
It is exactly the type of platformer that will induce rage in my body.
so we also have a store because I keep forgetting to mention this each week, but this time I remembered because I'm wearing one of our shirts. This is a one of our Kinsey shirt.
Bailey has one.
I
over
was
there,
wearing
too.
one of our shirts, but then Jake got me a new shirt, and I wanted to wear that instead.
Listen, I haven't seen you for like a week, solid. So
Which is weird.
Yeah.
well, you guys all decided to get sick, so I kind of
At least the plague is not contagious, confirmed by the doctor.
Okay, I found all the games.
is it this one?
Frostpunk, with one of the DLCs. I know it's got like 10 DLCs, but it only comes with one of them. Pathfinder Kingmaker, which is kind of like Pathfinder or Paizo's version of Divinity.
Oh. Or Paizo's version of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate.
Cryofall, which is the side-scrolling. Sorry, one I told you about. Akami HD. Shenzhen IO, which is a coding simulator.
Yeah, because I want to do my job for a game.
Some people are into that.
I read the reviews, and almost every one of the reviews is by a programmer that said this game is actually a lot of fun, and I don't know why I'm having fun doing my job.
Which probably means I would have fun with it, because I do enjoy programming, I just don't like programming for a corporation. But
yeah, there's a bunch of them in there. I think this humble choice is probably the best one I've seen in about a year.
nice. But yes, so that was the Humble Bundle stuff. We have the store. We are also working to build up money for a group artwork.
Oh,
Uh,
that.
because we're going to be commissioning the artwork from Sarah Sid, who has done the artwork for everyone below their title cards or below me, where you see all their wonderful characters. And if you'd like to follow along with the world, I have a world anvil dedicated to this, the world that I run games in.
And Jake got our cards updated.
Yes, everything should be up to date.
Ooh.
Tells isn't completely wrong anymore. Literally, everything about it was wrong. All the ability scores, the class. I think the only thing I had right was the name, and I think it was the name.
Picture.
Well, of course, the picture.
You got Kane's strength wrong. The belt gives her 21, not 20.
Well, that's what's written on her character sheet. So
Oh.
I copied it from the character sheet. Fine, I'll update it again later.
At least now Elduin isn't the only one that's flipped.
Yeah. Oh, I had to invert Myth's character artwork on her card because of the addition of the Warlock class. And her head was covering up most of it. So had to invert that. But it looks really weird when you've never seen it before. Or it looks really weird if you've been looking at the character art for a long time.
It was a little bit uncomfortable to see the first time.
Is there a little green heart in there somewhere?
Little
In
green.
chat.
No.
No heart.
Ash is supposed to send me one. I have a friend watching.
By the way, where did Erica go?
That's
Good
a
question.
really good question.
Erica, are you dead?
Erica, are you dead?
I mean, in
Fair
college,
question.
in college, we had the body system, which is if you don't see them, they're dead.
Ah, yes. Fair enough.
In college, we had the danger fan.
What?
We attached a box fan that we took the front cover off via strings through the walls to the base of our closets because they had the little hole closets to create a ceiling fan in the common room.
You know what? Danger fan is an appropriate name for that.
Yeah.
And the RA came in and went, "What is that?" And we were like, "The danger fan." And they were like, "Uh-huh."
The danger fan.
Yeah. College was an interesting time. I mean, where I went to school, if you didn't see them, I mean, if they got locked outside, they probably were going to die.
In Michigan, yes.
I went to school in Houghton, no less.
Ooh.
So,
Big yikes.
And now my watch begins.
my God. Yeah.
You graduated from the wall.
Fun fact: the week before I went to boot camp, I was hanging out with Matt, and he walked out of his house, and he used to do a thing where he hung his keys out of his pocket by a lanyard, and his keys got caught on the doorknob.
And broke off inside the house.
and they pulled out of his pocket. It got caught on the outside doorknob, so the lanyard was on the outside, but the keys swung around to the inside of the door, so we could see the lanyard, but couldn't get the keys.
Nightmare.
I would have been pissed.
I did get locked out of my dorm numerous times during the winter. One of the times was during vacation.
I did not get locked out of my dorm. I was very, very conscientious about that.
Oh, I lost my keys all the time. Left my wallet places.
Nope.
I do the list before I leave my house, where I name off everything I need and touch them all, so I know I actually
I do
have
it too.
them.
I do that now.
Phone, wallet, keys.
Yeah.
Phone, vape, keys, key card for work. I have to touch everything.
Phone, wallet, keys,
That's
inspiration
how I got
book.
through my anatomy class.
Oh,
So,
yeah, touching and
Taking
saying
tests would be like,
people watching you like,
well, I was about half the class that did that.
oh well.
Because our teacher actually recommended it to us. He was like, you know, if you do this, it works for a lot of people. So I was like,
There's- There, I don't remember much from an anatomy class, but I do remember phalanges.
Phalanges! Dancing phalanges!
I didn't take
That's
an
from
anatomy
Bones.
class.
I did because I wanted to learn animation, and I thought it would be important to understand the human body. Really, I just went through all of the dissection classes without gloves.
I also did that.
Amazing.
Stick my fingers inside the cow heart.
Oh, we had cats and deer hearts.
We didn't get a cat. But we did get sheep brains? Oh,
Our teacher
those feel
made
weird through
us
your
name the
fingers.
cats on the worksheet.
Yikes.
So my cat's name was Stevie.
Big oof.
My God.
What are baby deers called?
Fawns.
Fawns. I was trying to remember on my way here.
We call them Bambis.
Yikes.
Well, considering that I go hunting,
And kill
that's
the
what they
parrot.
become. Ooh, mama looks delicious. Pow!
Terrible.
But
Have
delicious.
you seen my son Thumper? Have you read the books?
What?
Have you read the books?
No.
The night that Bambi's mom dies, Mrs. Thumper gets shot dead and bleeds out in the snow next to Bambi. Like, while she's asking Bambi if... He's seen her son.
Baby's dark as fuck.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I was in 4th grade, like,
So-
I like this movie, and I was like...
So we should probably actually get into D&D, even though Erica, I think, is dying.
Dead.
Does she finally have what we have?
If so, your doctor lied. But yeah, so, recap from last week. Last week they were on a boat,
Boat.
traveling from the town, the village of Cruvishire, and they are heading to the city of Falena, which is in the middle of Blindalk Lake. Along the way, they ran into some trouble with some steam elemental type things and a cacophony of terrible, terrible luck.
It's mine now.
Yeah, wow. I realized that that's about all that got accomplished last week.
Much.
I almost died to a time apparition.
You sure?
Because I
fucking
tried
did.
drowning you.
I turned into a dinosaur.
Plesiosaur.
Are you alive? Are you a zombie?
I did realize there's another freshwater predator that you would have seen. And it's basically a... oh shoot, what's his name? It's another type of dinosaur. It was a mosasaur?
Is that the one that's like a crocodile?
Yes. Because there's a variation of them that existed, and because I do a lot of prehistoric animals. Yeah. So basically there was a giant crocodile, but, you know, plesiosaur, giant crocodile thing, pretty much close to the same
I
thing.
turn into a shark. No, you don't. What
You-
do I turn into that?
You've never seen a shark in your life. And probably the only sharks you have seen are itty bitty ones. Actually, no, you wouldn't have seen those because of what we specified. Nakane would have, maybe.
I turned into a purple
Tiny
worm.
sharks.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a beast.
Nope. The day you can turn into a purple worm. Oh god, that's true polymorph, isn't it?
Well, it
God.
depends what CR is true. Is a purple worm.
That depends. That depends on the one you find. The one you
I
guys.
do not want to true polymorph myself into a purple worm.
Anyway, so you guys ended. It was just before you guys were gonna rest for the second night, I believe.
I just thought about something.
Oh no! What?
How many high-level wizards went, fuck this, I'm going to become a cat, and true polymorphed themselves into a cat, and just went about their lives after that?
I can lick my own asshole.
They just went, this is fucking
My own
overrated, I'm not paying bills anymore.
Cat.
You let me lick my own ass.
Jesus. That's why you don't awaken dogs.
He was a good dog.
Toby was the best dog.
Toby was a good dog. He helped raise my kids.
Oh.
The kids didn't know he was awakened until they were a little older. So he would just tell Damia what they did.
That's evil and fantastic. Okay, so back to Tails. So yeah, I don't think you guys rested for the second night because you guys were going through the steam cloud. And basically we're on alert.
There's a lot of games there. In the Steam Cloud.
I hate you.
Time to go.
The time apparition comes back and
I'm so glad I'm
finishes
sitting
all
over
the
here now.
off.
I'm so glad I'm sitting over here now. Fox can't hit me anymore.
I can.
Yeah, Erica's my buddy. Erica's on my side.
I'm not
Well,
gonna
not
touch her.
actually on your side,
But
but
on my
Unless-
metaphorical side.
unless we're
What are
talking
you
about
doing?
like this way.
Knock you right out of that chair.
Listen, we lost Erica for a while. I don't want to lose her again.
What's the sitch?
Sorry. My bad. I forgot to.
It's still the Power Rangers.
It's still the Power Rangers, you uncultured.
I know
person.
it's the Power Rangers, but I still keep hearing Kim Possible.
I never watched Power. Well, I watched one Power Rangers as a kid.
That is going, go, go, Power Rangers.
Yeah. But then I tried to drop kick my mom, and she told me I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers anymore.
Meg's little brother wasn't allowed to watch Buffy for a while because he tried to stake his mom when he got mad at her.
Oh, see, I watched Highlander and tried to decapitate my mom.
Jesus.
I'm realizing that I was not a violent kid.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Like, my mom had me watching Trilogy of Terror and Chucky and shit like that. And I thought that Chucky was a comedy.
Correction, I was
And I
not.
thought that it was a comedy.
Correction, I
Because there was
was.
a clown, so everything must be a joke.
I was not a violent I was not a violent kid, but boy, did I sure try to kill myself.
Oh boy.
It's one of those things that like you hear people say, "Man, I'm surprised I lived to 18," and most people like they really haven't done shit that would warrant that. No, I've like fallen out of trees. I've been launched 30 feet in the air on a trampoline. I've done all sorts of stupid
And you
things.
definitely should have died.
Because I told Bailey that before, and we sat by a bonfire, and my uncle was telling stories as a kid, and without blinking, she turns to me and goes, "How the fuck are you still
How
alive?"
are you still alive?
So
I can't talk though. I was just mentioning to Erica because I used to there was this doe that was like friends with me as a child, so like I could just follow her through the woods.
So, you were following the Fae through the woods.
Well, she brought one of her fawns to meet me when I was like 12. Like I was following this deer for years.
anyway, we should probably actually play some
You
D&D.
never did tell me
But-
the rest of this story.
I was raised with skinwalker lore from my grandma. Why the fuck was I following a deer through the woods?
Because you wanted to meet one.
What was wrong with me?
I think that question could apply to today.
I did
So
think I'm a
D&D.
baby
Yes,
raccoon.
so D&D. So all of you are on a boat in a giant steam cloud. And no more fucking jokes about games. So,
About games?
are you guys just keeping watch
Yep.
for now?
Yep.
All right. Tomorrow will be the day that you guys are going to have to make your way to Falena. in whatever convoluted way you guys were coming up with.
I'm turning Akane into a bird.
Oh, that's right. We're all gonna fly, aren't we?
What kind of bird?
Something
canary.
giant.
I'm going to turn you into a dire hummingbird. It's the size of a pigeon instead of a hummingbird.
That'd honestly be horrifying.
A dire great blue heron.
A dire pelican.
Ah!
Screw it. Let's just go to pterosaur.
I
With
don't
all,
know if I've seen one of those.
You are correct. You have not.
I have seen a giant eagle and a giant vulture.
Yeah? Yeah, you have. Oh, hey, Kama is with you too, right? Okay. I keep forgetting that Kama...
Anybody
Is
have a
here.
large reduce?
Because I don't use her for normal familiar things.
I mean, that's fair.
I just love her. I don't want her to get
So,
poofed.
all of you are kind of keeping watch. And for the rest of the day, nothing seems to happen. Not in your general area.
Tell us hiding back in the fishbowl.
All right. But night starts to fall. Who's taking first watch?
am I? Oh no, I'm not a hummingbird yet.
No, you guys aren't there yet. All right, roll perception.
Hey, can we have our inspo?
Oh, hey, you are correct.
I'm gonna use my Lachardo Lucky.
There you go.
Is a 24 okay?
Yes, it is
Certainly
absolutely
another.
perfect to see. Nothing happen.
Steam.
And I still have both Twitch inspiration and advantage on my next roll from the last session.
Which
Heyo.
so who are you gonna wake up for the next watch?
Alwyn.
All right.
I'm going to roughly jostle him awake by
No.
tickling him to death.
Now, something we did learn is Tell, you are capable of taking two 2-hour watches if
Yes,
necessary.
I sure am. I don't have to sleep as much.
17.
You hear the crashing of the waves and the howling of wind. Who do you wake up next?
Down. What? Your turn. Go watch things. With your many eyes.
Oh,
My mini
the army crawls out of the deck.
You big hates
You need
this.
to stop. You're tilting that computer. I just felt it move.
Oh no.
Do I need to take that computer away?
You drop that on my foot again, I'm putting it on your head.
Please don't give them what they want.
I can stop it from falling
All right.
with my intense leg muscles.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. I believe with advantage
Jeez.
because again, cloak of eyes.
My
That is gonna be the
powerful
worst thing.
sleeping thighs.
You are in a place you do not like to be, but you can see it really well.
Even if I shut my eyes. Unnatural 20. That is technically a 25.
You see everything. Not really. No.
Hates this.
I mean, the cloak of eyes does let you see into the ethereal plane, doesn't it?
My
So
bad.
yeah, you actually can see everything.
He has
kind
been
of
keeping a
ghost
close
jellies?
eye on. I was gonna say he's been keeping a close eye out for ghosties
Okay.
of any particular kind.
Jellyfish.
While you are, and I'm going to assume that because of the cloak of eyes, you're able to actually discern between what is actually in the ethereal plane and what isn't. Because otherwise, that would be a useless fucking ability.
Yeah.
So you're keeping watch, and there's nothing out on the water that you can see. There's a few like planks of wood that you're seeing kind of drift about. You guys are getting closer to Falena, and it definitely isn't looking good. And since it's also near the end of your rest, like the sun is starting to come up. But even before, like you know when the sun is supposed to come up, you see red on the horizon, in the direction that you guys are headed.
Hate that.
However, in the ethereal plane, It's hard for you to see precisely what it is because it's under the water.
Okay.
You see something basically swim beneath the waves in the
Okay.
ethereal plane.
Oh, good.
But
I'm the only one who can see it. Is it a whale?
it's
Does
hard.
it look big?
Yes, it looks very big.
Okay.
Are you going to alert anyone, or are you just going to wait and see what happens?
I'm gonna pop my ward.
Okay. You're just... Nope, not coming near us!
No. Mm-mm.
All right.
Since it takes up the whole boat.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
We just gonna pop that ward and I'm gonna watch out for it.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep my eye out.
And you kind of see, like, the glow of it beneath the waves a bit, but it seems to drift further off into the lake and
Okay.
disappears from sight.
I hate that. No. So, already afraid of big open water and being on this boat. See something horrifying inside the water. More afraid.
And
Big scare.
and it's in the ethereal plane.
It's in the ethereal plane, and I'm the only fucking person who can touch anything in the material. Or
Is
the
it a
ethereal.
Leviathan?
Huh?
Is it a Leviathan from Subnautica?
If it
Oh,
was that,
God.
it would have tried eating the boat. Question. If your ward is... It's 30 feet... It's a 30-foot radius?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think anything's big enough to swallow that, but... would it keep it from, like, eating the whole thing?
If it's in the ethereal plane, yes. If it's incorporeal, yes. If it's corporeal, then the word doesn't do much other than.
Well,
burn.
I was gonna say, I'm just thinking about, like, it, like, putting its mouth around the ward and swallowing you guys whole?
You mean like with the purple worm?
The purple...
Favorite's anti-life shield and then getting acid in and then being stuck in the worm?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I like having things eat people.
We
Anti-life
couldn't
shield, the
tell.
acid's not alive.
What?
Anti-life shield, the acid's not alive.
It's a byproduct of living things.
Welcome to being one of the coded pills.
I imagine it would be a bit like being in like a hamster ball inside of a creature.
That's what the anti-life shield was like
Yeah.
for Farron. Only it let it let the acid through. Yeah. So then your watch goes uneventful, and other than what you saw, and the sun rises, and the horizon in front of you only gets brighter with
I hated that.
the sun.
Hated all of that.
All right, so the night has passed. You guys are on the third and final day. And you guys asked him to be 6 miles? 6 miles away from Falena?
Oh yeah, before we flew away.
Yep. So,
5 miles for safety.
okay. I wasn't sure if it was 5 or 6. It was somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was 5 because 6, I would basically have to leave immediately and I would fall onto the shoreline when my spell ended. So if we go 5, I've got an extra
Couple minutes.
couple minutes of flight time.
Okay, cool. All right. Jeremiah wakes up and gets the boat moving again. Well, the boat's not gone. I assume everything went well.
You
Oh,
might
this is the afterlife.
That
jump up. You
Be nice to me.
didn't see what I saw last night.
What did you see?
Something very big under the water in the ethereal plane.
Oh, I was gonna yell at
That
you for
sounds
being
cool.
I was gonna yell at you for being a plesiosaur again.
No, this was not on the material plane, which I put my ward up so it didn't bother the boat, but you may want to be careful coming back just in case it is not completely incorporeal
Well,
or can switch between.
well, I'm gonna have a problem since I can't see that way anyway.
Watch for weird movement in the water.
Oh,
Just keep an eye out.
I'm always trying. I forgot you guys have the
Till goes back to hide.
Sun Elf adventurer with you guys, who is in the fish hold, hiding.
Right. Joe goes back to hide with that guy.
Well,
He's leaving.
so 5 miles offshore, huh?
Yeah.
So we should be able to see the. We should be able to see the island by then.
You thought your dice were safe?
Leave! I'm gonna be very upset with you if you eat that one. 'Twas a gift.
All right. So what are you guys doing for the remainder of the time? 'Cause
Hiding.
It's gonna take quite a bit of the day to get there. Thanks to Jeremiah's kind of not fully functional boat.
I swear there was an NPC named Jeremiah.
Hey Jake, can I dig around through my grimoire and stuff to see if I know anything about really big things in the ethereal plane that might not be just ghosties?
Sure. Go ahead and roll, and we're gonna say arcane check.
Arcana.
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 Acana.
Akrana.
15.
15. You don't know anything specifically that is large,
Okay.
but you are aware of a certain type of creature that exists only in the ethereal plane, which is the spirit, kind of the spirit animal type creatures, the ones that guide souls.
Okay.
You have not heard of any that are that big before, but you also haven't not heard of
Right,
ones
you know.
that big. So you have neither.
Always a possibility.
There's a possibility, but
Arcana.
it's hard to tell without having gotten a much better
Look
look
at
at it.
That's going on the list of things to ask Simone.
It's going down the list of things that are ferrying people that died off the island.
Honestly.
They need a bigger one.
A spirit plesiosaur, says Jade.
It's a double-decker bus instead of a limo.
It's like the night bus from Harry Potter.
Normally it just rolls up and takes like 2 or 3 people, but in this case it's like, fuck, we need the whale.
We need the whale.
What is this, Bleach?
I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of Finding Nemo with the ray.
Oh.
No, don't sing any Disney songs. That's how we get shut down.
I don't know any of Ray's songs. He's really fast.
All right, so you were investigating what's in your grimoire. Anything else from all of you?
I'm just enjoying my time on the water.
I'd like to copy some spells from that spellbook I have, but we don't know where the fuck it went.
Did y'all not do that?
We lost the sheet for it.
Yeah.
We'll have to come with something later.
I wonder if there's a version of a Selkie you can make that turns into a stingray instead of a seal.
Well, one way we can investigate is making a 10th level necromancer.
I mean, at least just
I realized I was
smells.
sick the hell out. When everybody was
which really means for at least one of them you can pick like one of the spells that a necromancer has access to. I don't really know any specific ones.
Raise dead, animate dead,
I mean, yeah, those are all.
regenerate.
Isn't regenerate like a 6th level spell?
Is it? I never remember what level regenerate is. It's one of those weird ones that you don't think should be as high level as it is.
Because it regrows limbs.
Yeah, which is a completely narrative function.
Well, unless you give mechanical things for it. All right. So,
Here is the earth,
It's a nice earth, you might say.
round.
Water everywhere.
It's just the facepalm flask makes an appearance
Yeah.
for the third time
it's almost empty.
so far.
It's almost empty. I'm just gonna have to go
Okay,
straight to
I'll
the
take it
source. Okay. All right. So,
It's a 7th level spell.
no, you would not be able to copy that down because a 10th level wizard would not
You
have
do
access to
retain
it.
hit points off it, I guess.
I guess.
All
You
right.
were getting hit points off
So,
of throwing everything back.
Myth, you're not are you doing anything specific? I can't remember if you said. Playing music?
This day, when we're getting that close, I'm probably not playing music.
That's fair.
If the one guy's hiding down in the hold, I will.
Oh, do not forget to increase hit points and spell points from resting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I go back to max his spell points, but my hit points are still a little fucked.
Don't you guys have like health potions and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Before we did our long rest, I should have healed you a bit.
I will allow you. I will allow you to.
I guess I could have bandaged myself too, because I'm assuming one of us has a healing. No, fuck.
I have.
I do.
Oh, do you?
I have a med kit.
Yeah.
So I think
have, like,
I
another
think the
7
rule for that
uses
was
in
you
mine.
use a charge out of the healer's kit
Yeah.
to bandage.
So
Yeah.
how many charges do you have left in your healer's
I
kit?
have no idea. I've never used it.
Well, then you have
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
So you've got 9 uses left on it left.
Yep.
I had
I
a
only put that I have one med kit.
I had a magic item card for the medical kit because we were marking it down.
Yeah, I've got it over here for mine.
Yeah. So.
I'll do.
I'm gonna let you do it because we did kind of run past it and we haven't really dealt with you guys gaining health back after resting for a while, especially after a really bad injury.
I also need to roll a d6 for my wands.
And I'll do a level 3 cure wounds.
I'm only missing
Roll a d20
17 hit points.
and add your spellcasting ability score. Basically, at this point, don't roll a 1.
So I got
17.
Okay, yeah. Pretty much after
And
this, you're not gonna have to worry about it.
Cure wounds is 1d8 per level.
Yes.
I thought it started with 2.
Pretty sure it's 1.
Thank you for the cheer, Tabletop Blue.
Hi,
How are you
Tabletop Blue.
doing?
Hello, Tabletop Blue. Welcome.
Hi, Tabletop Blue.
We can
How
Thanks
are
for the
you
party.
guys?
cure wounds.
Pulling it up.
I really should know this one by
1d8
heart.
plus spellcasting ability.
I always feel
Okay.
like I should too, and I never do.
Oh, you know what confuses me? It's because of the whole cleric thing.
Yeah.
So,
It is 1d8, right?
Yeah. It's 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Gain a d8 every level above.
gain 25 hit points.
I'm at full.
I got a 7 and 8 and a 7.
And that was still enough spell points that you didn't.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I did 3rd and not something
Okay.
higher.
Okay.
Because I had 61 left.
Because you guys are gonna need all the hit points you need are gonna have for for Falena. All right. So
How many ghosty ghosts did I see? Just regular ones.
not many actually.
Okay. That's important to me.
What else? Get my source.
Most of them are probably too deep underwater for you to have seen. If there are, I mean, there's definitely bodies in this lake. It's my world. I can't deny that. Oh, by the way, tabletop loot. You can redeem those for one of our bit rewards if you'd like. All right. So you guys rest up. Alduin, if you want, you can go ahead and if you spend the resources for it, you can add one of the necromancer spells to your spell list. I'm gonna let you figure that out. I'm assuming you're not going to need it immediately. So we're just gonna move on, and hopefully it doesn't impact anything.
Do spirits normally linger close to their bodies in your...
Not always. Some will, but not always. They tend to move around depending on numerous factors.
Yeah.
Because people are different.
Yes.
So,
Odd question. Does that work with cantrips? Are cantrips part of a spellbook?
yes, maybe. You need to read up on...
Yeah, I need to read up on that one. I never considered that.
Huh! Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why.
Because I know you can have spell scrolls that have cantrips on them.
No, you can't. Cantrips are the only ones, if I remember, that don't. You can't have spell scrolls. Anyway, so you guys spend most of the day. Jeremiah's sailing the
Calm
ship.
down, then.
The Sun Elf adventurers still just kind of cowering below deck, not wanting to
Tells
go,
with him.
not wanting to go in the direction that you guys are going. Those of you on the deck of the ship, as you guys get closer and closer, you guys do start to be able to see almost to the limits of your vision. But the island does start to come into view. Actually, no. At 5 miles.
Depends on what the curvature of your planet's like.
No, you wouldn't see it because it's roughly the same size as Earth because I didn't want to do complicated
Okay.
math.
So, about 2 miles.
Okay, so then you guys wouldn't see it.
Okay, copying a spell into the book, it specifies when you find a wizard spell of first level or higher.
Okay, so you can't copy cantrips.
Correct.
Wow, they really have tried restricting who can get what cantrips.
Which is strange.
No, I really don't. I actually don't see that as strict. I think we need to clean up some of these bottles in
I'm a
here.
madman. That was not the bottle's fault. That was my fault.
I mean, my statement stands.
Do you want to hear me that?
Oh my god, the wizard spell list is huge.
Yeah!
Oh shit!
Whew.
Where's the one that lets you animate a broom?
Animate object?
There's a couple of them here I know he had. Like, I know he had Ray of Sickness and Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Clearly that's how you fight a Dracolich. It just starts sweeping the scales off of it.
So, however, even though you cannot see the island from here, you can definitely see the glow from the island.
And the smoke.
Yes. In fact, actually, the sky in that direction is quite dark as smoke is billowing from the island. So, another shield bug.
Sure is.
Well, stink boob.
Just be careful of the camera.
Oh, thanks.
Did it fly right in there?
Flew onto my finger. Come on, kiddo. Go into the box. Thanks.
So yeah, you guys know the direction of Falena. And Jeremiah's going to slow the ship down. All right, we're about 5 miles out. I know you all had a plan, so well,
Hop to it.
yeah,
Okay.
do whatever you're gonna do.
All done.
So, can I, when I polymorph something, can I determine its color?
Sure, I don't see why not.
You are going to be a purple giant eagle.
All right. Is she Amethyst from Steven Universe?
She's her skin color, but with feathers.
Okay, but I love that. Yeah, this turns into a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Amethyst, no, amethyst, yes.
I see no reason that
Okay.
from polymorph you wouldn't be able to determine that. It's magic that you already choose what it looks like. So.
I wasn't sure if you were going to be like, natural colors only.
That's no fun.
Yeah, there's probably a purple eagle somewhere.
Fair enough.
Also, you can imagine it, so.
I mean, the Fae would have bred a purple eagle.
It's the purple giant eagle! Why is it called that? Is there something special about its biology? No. It's just purple.
We just made it purple for fun.
So, there's nothing magical about it. Nope. Just purple.
I mean, it is pretty majestic.
Is it
That's a different kind of magic.
What if you make an eagle that is grossly incandescent?
That starts to have magical properties? I will actually deny that.
I was trying to make a Dark Souls joke.
Oh.
Big purple eagle Nakai is just like puffed out feathers.
I'm going to carefully get onto your back.
Puffed out feathers.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
Aldwin,
Yeah, with a...
we have to go.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, I guess fly on myself.
I'm going to give Nakata Weasel head scratches.
Well, I thought you were gonna ride with.
Am I
You can
riding
carry
on
two.
her also?
Yeah, giant eagles can support 2 medium creatures.
All right.
That's why we're doing it to save spell slots.
Ah. Well, don't drop me.
Spell points.
Climbs on.
Turns head.
Okay, we gotta follow Aldwin.
And eagles are intelligent, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're a lot smarter than fucking Pleasure, so I'll tell you what.
I think they have like an 8 or 9 intelligence, which isn't bad for a beast.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not at all.
Alright, Bird Nakade would make bird noise, big eagle noise, and then follow after Aldwin.
Gahamut makes a bird noise back at her.
Nakade gets really excited and makes more bird noises.
You know what I think I've determined? This is just a little world building thing. I know eagles don't truly sound like we make them sound on videos. In my world, they do. Why? Because it's cool.
Because it's fun.
Because I
Sort
can.
of like how we use tiger roars to be lion roars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or how T-Rexes probably didn't actually, roar like they do in Jurassic Park.
But they probably chirped.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
Little bird.
amazing.
I love the budgie T-Rex drawings.
Oh, they're so
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you cry out and
Fly off.
I can't remember if your flight speed is faster than mine or not.
I think it's a 50-foot fly.
I think I've got a 60 foot. So yeah, I'm actually a little faster than you.
It's a race now.
At the one point, Bird Nakade just is looking down at the water like fish.
okay. So polymorph lasts an hour, correct?
Yep.
And fly lasts
10 minutes.
Okay, so I'm assuming that because you guys chose those, you did the math on that.
Yes. I chose 5 miles because it takes about an...
80-foot fly.
Oh, okay.
Eagles are faster than you.
I chose 5 miles because 5 miles takes about an 8 and a little over a quarter minutes to traverse at the maximum fly speed, including dashing.
Which actually you guys would be doing constantly.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So once I get there, I've got about a minute and a half to spare to fuck around.
All right. So you guys take off at full speed. Jeremiah just staring up as a bunch of adventurers just took off flying.
Okay, do what you're gonna do.
Huh. And any of you that look back would, well, actually, Tell, you can always see behind you. So you see Jeremiah starting to get the boat and starting to turn it around and
He's gonna
take off.
Not that this is going to do anything, but he might say a little, oh, please let them get back safe.
So almost like
I want to say a little prayer.
which, I mean, this is a polytheistic
Yeah.
society. That's not entirely unheard of.
Yeah, he might do a little, just a
Safe
little guy.
travels prayer.
He's very nervous about that big thing he saw. He's trying to convince himself it was probably just a spirit fairy, but also, big.
Nakade's just going,
Playing with Kahamut.
yeah. And you're both Tell's like, stop, we're over water.
Goddamn motherfuckers.
Myth is fine with this.
Mint's making airplane noises, but she's never seen an airplane before.
She's been an eagle enough that she is very confident in where she's holding on.
I know I feel much better about them being here if I hold right here. All right, so about 8 minutes or so pass.
Yep.
I'm assuming that you are moving at about the
Oh,
speed
yeah.
that Alduin is, so you
Yeah.
all arrive at the same time.
Yep.
All right, so getting close to 2 miles out, you guys do finally start to see the island of Falena come into your vision. Falena itself is a kind of it was built on, I wouldn't say a mountain, but it's a very large hill that was largely made out of marble. And they actually,
It's not volcanic rock.
they actually carved layers into it to create different tiers on the island, which is where they built the city. You guys see these different tiers. You also notice that the second from the highest tier is completely ablaze.
Don't like that.
And so it is like actively smoking. You see smoke rising into the sky. Yes, very red. There's steam coming off of the lake around it. Fires are cropping up on the lowest layer and on the second layer too. But the third layer is definitely ablaze. The top layer, you can just barely see through the smoke and the steam, but you can see the temple to Blinn. Because actually Myth would know this from travel. Falena is actually a theocracy, and the Church of Blinn actually controls the island.
But they're not too happy right now, eh?
At least they're the Church of Water.
A city based on water, made mostly out of marble, is on fire.
Right.
This sounds very Greek.
A little bit, yeah. So yes, that is the state that you can see the island is in. As you guys get closer and closer, probably about a mile out, you guys do hear what all of you would assume is the roar of a dragon. Yeah, and you don't see any evidence of the dragon.
We don't see any like big spikes of flame anywhere.
You do see one spike of flame, but it's weird. It almost seems to be, I guess you could say, walking. And it's on the lowest level, and it seems to be kind of like crawling across the island. It's just a little over the size of a building.
Okay.
But you don't see the source of the roar. Are you guys doing anything different, or are you guys just charging straight towards the island?
Well, I rolled to see if Bird Nakane would go, nope.
Bird Nakane turns around and leaves. Wait, what?
Hold on.
Alduin thinking, oh shit, doesn't have time, has to keep going towards the island.
I'm sorry, I'm listening.
Alright. So, what part of, what area of the island are you guys shooting for?
I gotta go straight to the shore.
Okay, so you're gonna land basically on the docks area that is mostly on fire.
Decanter of endless water.
Firefight. Ooh.
Guys are that bitch.
We need a artwork of Firefighter Tell.
Firefighter Tell just with the decanter of endless water.
But it's him in like the Gallows Premier gear, so he's not wearing a shirt.
Of course.
Oh.
I was gonna say, of course Firefighter Tell doesn't have a shirt on.
Fun
Of
fact.
course not.
Did you know one of the Navy's most famous pictures of a guy fighting a fire on board a ship, he actually got kicked out of the Navy for?
Wow, really?
Was he not wearing all of his gear?
Because he wasn't wearing all of his gear. It put a false light on the Navy.
Even though he probably...
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was doing.
Oh boy. Well,
Alright, so Alduin, you're gonna head straight for the shore.
Yes.
I think seeing that the docks are on fire, Tell will pull out the decanter of endless water to get ready to shoot it at the docks so that Alduin has a place, or we all have a safe place to land. Specifically, Alduin.
Well,
has a
you
safe
guys
place.
you can overshoot the docks just a little bit and actually land on land, but the actual docks themselves are ablaze, and there's several ships, like the entire shore of Falena, because the whole island has been kind of it's grown into. The entire shoreline is just docks.
Okay. But there's a section that is not on fire that we can land on?
Yeah, you guys can actually go a little past the docks and land directly on land.
Okay.
There's some burning buildings that are nearby. There's also a few buildings that look like they have burned, but now they're like smoldering husk. But then a few of them that are like that, you see fires kind of flare up in briefly and die back down.
Is there sand around? Has it turned to glass?
There is not sand.
Okay.
They've, again, most of this has been, oh god, there's a word for it too. Developed. So most of this island has already been worked and There's probably one part of the island that actually is a beach, but you're not.
We're not there.
This is the wrong side of the island.
Yeah.
So yeah, several boats are ablaze. Several of them like sinking in the water.
Not.
All right. So, let's see here.
Land on a not fiery bit.
Okay, I feel better now. I reestablished what the different pillar types are called and what their defining features are.
Good. You're gonna need to give me some of those because I don't know. So when you ask, well, what kind of pillar type is it? I'm gonna give you a whole. You tell me.
No, for some reason, when you were like, "There's marble everywhere," I was like, "There's Corinthian."
And your brain just hyper focused on that thing.
But yes, actually, a lot of the styles of this, I would equate to very Greek architecture-esque. There's some variation due to the ability for magic to mold stone and stuff. So there's some stuff that is definitely not Greek.
I don't know why I even remembered that Corinthian was a pillar type. I'm really upset about that.
All right, so you guys land in basically a street. There's a few buildings that have smoldered out, and you don't see anyone immediately there. Oh, there is another feature that I suppose I should mention about the city as you guys approached it. You notice that as you guys got closer, you could notice this more obviously. Coming out of the top layer, it looks like there's a series of aqueducts that once ran from there. Most of these are destroyed. So you see broken parts of aqueducts. From some of them, there's just water flowing out of it.
Aggie duck.
Aggie duck.
There's just water flowing out of it kind of uncontrolled and just kind of splashing onto the island. Splashing onto the ground. It's not putting out any fires. But you actually wouldn't notice it from a distance. But most of the aqueducts in the city have been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys land in the street. When you do, when you guys finally land, what do you guys do?
Are there people around?
Give me a perception check.
I stand there and then tilt my head upside down and look at these crazy people.
This is
why
for you to go over later.
why the fuck are we here?
16.
I'll take a look at it later. 16. You do not see anybody. What you do see is coming out of like one of the alleyways, you see one of those steam creatures that you saw before. You see it kind of scuttle out, turns down the street and looks at you, and then it turns around and starts running away.
Does it smell like burnt people?
You can't tell.
Okay. What was it?
It was one of the steam creatures that you guys fought
Oh.
last session. So one of the short steam elemental things.
Ah.
So it looked down, turned around, and took off.
Thing went that way. Polymorph drop.
Connie drops. Oh my god, I was flying! So what do you guys do?
Should I scout with Arcane Eye first?
That might be better than just following that thing down an alley.
How long does Arcane Eye take to cast?
Shit. No, I would have re-prepared that because I said I was going to do that in the first place. I just need to figure out what I'm going to unprepare. I'm going to unprepare confusion.
Okay. Had enough of that effect for a while?
Yep, sure did. Which means...
Your city's on fire.
The city is on fire. You know what would help here?
Not being on fire?
Arcane Eye is an action to cast.
Okay, it's an action to cast.
And its duration up to an hour.
Okay, so if it's a duration up to an hour, when you stop using the Arcane Eye part of it, does the eye disappear?
Yes.
Okay. So you activate it and then you have an hour before.
It just vanishes.
Okay.
And it does not specify that I lose control of my own senses, like Find Familiar does.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because I remember we were kind of iffy on that last time.
Yeah. It's what, a 5th level spell? 4th level spell?
Yeah.
At that level, I'm fine with you having your senses.
So.
Especially because it takes up a concentration slot, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Oh yeah, it's concentration up to an hour.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
yeah, I'm going to cast Arcane Eye and start scouting out the town.
Okay, so since there's several layers of the town, first off, what's the speed of the eye? I just want to make sure. I want to double check how far you can get.
Can I see Xanathar's? Oh wait, I'm an idiot.
You have your phone.
I literally had that thing open right in front of me.
Mm-hmm. The only reason I'm asking is because it may determine what you can and can't get to in a certain amount of time. Because the city's on fire, I'm having things
Oh yeah,
happen.
30 feet. 30 foot move.
Okay. 30-foot movement. So you're going to...
Oh yeah, and I can't dash with it. It's as an action I can move it 30 feet.
Ooh, okay. So, you are not going to be able to get too far within a certain amount of time. I'm going to be working on. There's a lot of things going on in the city. So we're going to kind of play this by ear. So, in the immediate vicinity, you can basically look in the immediate vicinity for what I'm going to say this first time frame, which is the residential district.
While you're scouting, I suggest that we hide inside a house for now so that Steve guy doesn't come back with like 10,000 more of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I did the math. They can travel about 3.5 miles throughout the casting time.
Okay. And that's going in that's 3.5 miles.
Yeah,
Constantly
so,
moving.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are going to attempt to hide?
Yeah.
So, there's one thing I'd like to remind you guys while you're in the city. I say remind you guys that I'm going to tell you guys. For the purposes of mechanics, this place is considered extreme heat. So, as long as you guys have access to fresh water,
Mm-hmm. Which we do.
which you have a decanter of endless water, you guys will not suffer from the effects of it. If you guys suddenly don't have access to fresh water, you guys are going to have to start making saves to not get exhaustion.
Ooh.
And because Nakane is wearing heavy armor, that would be at disadvantage. So, just keeping you guys in mind that...
So you've got your decanter, I have the bag of holding that has all of our drinks in it.
And I have an alchemy jug.
Yeah, so just so you know, like, this place is hot.
Tel's dying.
I feel right at home.
It tells
Tel is wearing a lot of clothing.
I think I might be one of the few people in the room that has a good metric for that.
Yeah, living in Texas will do that, I guess. I have the exact opposite metric. So yeah, go ahead and I want all of you to roll stealth. We're gonna do this this is gonna be a group check. So one failure isn't going to result in all of you being seen. A majority of you have to succeed in order for this to.
It's cocked.
Yeah, a majority of this has to succeed in order for all that to happen.
You're wearing plate armor. You have disadvantage.
Yeah.
18.
Okay, so I have to roll again. 13.
15.
I still have my inspo.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna keep that roll.
15.
18, 15.
22.
All right. So,
Correction. No, it was 22. Okay, I didn't
Okay.
update that.
all right. So you all find the house that is the least ablaze, and you kind of scuttle inside. And Nakane, for a second, is kind of looking in the opposite direction as all of you. And just as some of those steam elementals start coming around the corner, a bunch of them, one of you grabs Nakane by the back of the collar and yanks her into the building.
Yoink!
Nakaya wandering around town going, I am here!
Small.
Southern Smash!
No! I'm not turning my tiny gay tiefling into a large gay American man.
He's only half American.
Half American man. She
All
does
right.
no. Jade, no.
All right.
I mean, that's basically what her artwork pose
Yeah.
is, isn't it?
Pretty close.
God damn it.
All right.
She
So
got access to new smashes when she got the new sword.
Oh, I was gonna say that was just smites.
Oh my god, you're All Might!
I'm not. You don't see me vomiting blood everywhere.
yet.
Just smite.
Yes. Jake's now sitting there going.
Branding Smite is literally just Southern Smash.
I don't use any of them though.
Okay. So all of you are inside this kind of burnt out husk of a building. You can kind of see remnants of the people who did live here. There's burnt out bowls, like burnt out furniture. You can still see some of the ashes are still glowing a little bit. But this was the building that was the least on fire. And all of you hear like kind of those steam elementals kind of rushing about,
Skittering around.
looking for all of you. Aldwin. So with the arcane eye, what are you looking for in particular?
Looking for troop numbers, troop positions, troop pathing, and to see if I can find Big Bad.
Big Bad. Okay. Is there any direction that you are taking the eye towards? Are you taking it kind of so to keep in mind the layout of the island, because of the layers, it is kind of like concentric circles ish. So I
So
just
it's
want to know
like,
like what direction you guys are kind of
So
approaching
it's like
this.
this.
Yeah, from the perspective that you can see,
Okay.
that's effectively what it is.
So I'll probably do like a search thing. So I'll doing.
Okay, you are not going to be able to do that with the arcane eye. That is actually probably too far.
Yeah, I know. I'm as far as I can. Get.
Okay, so you're going to scan across the residential district, because again, this is actually a round island. Well, I say round, so
Wow.
going around so your path, what you did, you'd either be searching like half of the island, or you'd be going full circle around the island.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to do a section as far up as you could
I
go.
actually have something for this.
So do I want? Okay, so if the city is like this,
Yeah.
do I want to search the entire outer ring, or do I want?
Don't blame me, but I made a
A
map.
section.
You guys basically approach from this direction.
So theoretically, what he could do is either go all the way around on one level, or he could go several levels up, staying in a cone. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could attempt that. This is a fairly large island, so
Okay, so gonna nerd on numbers here for a second.
I'm gonna put that there.
Assuming they've been here for a decent amount of time, they're probably spread out consistently, and they're gonna have the same troop movement. So if I do a cone, I can just apply that cone to the rest of the area.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to do.
You're taking a sample.
Yes, I'm taking a sample.
We are truly nerds here when we start bringing statistics into D&D,
No, thank
besides dice.
you. Thank you.
God.
So yeah, I'm gonna do probably like.
All right, so you're gonna try to scan that cone area.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna take this back though.
I know that they all would braid my hair, it just tangles.
All right. So for this first time slot, you're gonna get through a portion of the residential district. Go ahead and give me a perception check, because I think you still have to make those.
Yes.
Whew. Ooh, the Twitch inspiration. Yeah, because you have to use that first. I forgot.
Yeah, sure do.
That was a rule I did.
I'll take that one. 13.
13? All right. Looking across what is the residential district, you see quite a few of these steam elementals. You start to lose count, One, because of like how much they're moving, but you also don't really notice anyone in this. Like, there's no people that are in this area. So on this level, there's a bunch of tiny goon things, tiny elementals, and again, it's very hard to keep track. You do know, because I'm going to give you this one as well, that large fire thing that you saw kind of crawling across the residential district, that is to the west of you guys.
That.
I kind of wanted to assume that you were actually going to go in that direction.
Yeah, I probably would.
Because that was information I didn't completely give you properly, so we can kind of retcon that part. But yeah, so you're going to head in that direction. You start to get to a point where you notice, like, you're able to see that giant thing of fire, which at a certain point you start to recognize this is an elemental.
Is that... Which tier is that on?
That is on the lowest tier. That's the residential tier.
Okay.
And
So there's a
just to
bunch
make
of
sure,
goons
just
and-
make sure that you're keeping track. There are 4 levels.
There are 4 levels.
Yes,
So
the top one is the temple.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I'll do another temple up there. Okay.
But yeah, you are recognizing that this thing is an elemental. I'm not going to make you roll for that because
I've seen a lot of elementals.
you've seen plenty of elementals. This one is just massive. You haven't seen this type before. What?
Jade just said, it's not the residential tier anymore because all the residents are dead. Oof.
That's what it was called
How
when it
many
was still.
ghosts are around us?
Whoo, boy, you are seeing quite a few.
Yeah, I figured.
You actually see some in this house.
Nice.
Corpse party.
Do they look pissed or are they fine?
They actually look terrified.
How much smoke inhalation?
What you're assuming is that they may be kind of not quite reliving, but almost like acting exactly as they might in a situation like this.
Right.
It's a family of 3, and they're all kind of like huddled together, trying to keep out of sight, even though you know that very few things around you at this moment would be able to see them.
Right. Tel's gonna send Serenity over there
All right.
to talk to them
All right.
about what they're here to do.
All right.
Just so maybe they can get some comfort. Tel doesn't like this.
So
This is too many ghosts for Tel.
yeah.
Thanks for
So
ghosts in the last arc.
Yeah, he did, and now he's a little stressed.
so wow. The interesting thing is that actually you wouldn't be able to hear into the ethereal plane.
Mm-hmm.
You can only see into the ethereal plane.
And I can only hear the ghosts bound to me. I can't hear the other ones.
Yes. So you hear the little girl Serenity go up to them and start talking with them, trying to calm them down. You cannot hear the other side of the conversation because you're not doing your quickening. But you're not. It's hard to tell. Like, it seems like they may be coming to this realization, but like, again, you're only getting one side of the conversation.
Lots of people that don't know they're dead yet.
Yeah.
Question, Jake. While I'm doing this arcane eye stuff and we're just kind of chilling in this house, does this count for the purposes of a long rest? Or a short rest, sorry.
No, because you are actively using
Okay.
the spell.
What about for the rest of us? We're just chilling.
Not for you because you well.
'Cause I'm-
Well,
If you count me like instructing my spirits to do a thing as me not resting, that's fine.
I think for the case of this, yes. But I was actually going to get to the other 2 to see what they're
Oh.
doing. So, is there anything else that you guys are doing, or are you just hunkering
Probably
down?
keeping a lookout.
Okay. So, for the purposes of this, you would be able to take a short rest.
I am probably investigating this house, and if the corpses are kind of just in the middle of the room, I would probably move them to, like,
All right.
their beds or something.
This one I'm actually going to require you to make a perception check
Yeah.
because it is a cacophony of just disaster.
That's a 10 perception, so if it's something that's just sitting out, I'd probably see it.
You don't see anything obvious sitting out. It really just looks like a pile of rubble.
Okay.
So if there are bodies in here, you can't see them.
Okay.
Obviously, Tell knows the opposite, but Tell also can't see where the bodies are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tell can't see the bodies, he can just see the ghosties.
So their roof kind of collapsed on them.
What
Probably.
do their ghosties look like?
It seems it's a family of humans. They look like they're wearing pretty common clothing.
Did they look like they were burned to death or crushed to death?
Little of column A, little of column B. Well, actually, no, you wouldn't be able to discern that at all. Spirits mostly reflect. They don't reflect exactly what they look like when they died.
Okay, because Kalain was pretty torn up.
Yeah, his body was torn up, but his ghost you didn't really see. Wait.
You described his his ghost.
Oh,
as
I guess I
having-
did. Okay. Wow, then that's me being wrong. Yes, they look like they're a combination of kind of
Okay.
charred and also like they've been crushed.
Okay. Blunt force injuries.
Yes. So
Okay.
their house must have caught on fire and collapsed in on them
Cool.
before they had time to get out.
Makes sense.
Martha, get out of there! Stop packing up the sheets. All right, you're keeping watch. I don't know if you needed anything for a short rest. If you were full on hit
Yeah, I
points
was
and
full
spell
on
points.
everything.
Okay, cool. But because you were kind of investigating the house, that doesn't count as a short rest. Yeah. All right. So, next segment of time. Are all of you just going to stay in here until Alduin is done scanning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we're going to continue on with this.
Okay.
So you kind of get closer to the fire elemental. So you're gonna go up to the second level, correct?
Yes.
All right. So this is the area that this is what was the market district. There are fires that have sprung out throughout the place. It looks similar to the residential district. The difference is that there is a new kind of enemy in here. You see what looks like shambling corpses. Except they are burnt.
Love that. Love that.
Can I leave?
I didn't realize you were
Smell
going
like
7
this.
days to die here.
There's not a ton of them. You kind of see them
Just
kind of
zombies.
spread out a bit. Give me another perception check though. And can you hear through this eye too? Or is it just sight? I can never remember with some of these spells.
Where did I put it?
I believe it was just sight because we did this before.
Mentally receive visual information from the eye.
Yeah. Okay. I remember this because you went to spy on some necromancers and you couldn't hear their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to lip read.
Perception. 1. It's vital I get information here. 18.
18. All right. So, as you are scanning the city, you notice some more swift movement. And as you kind of focus in that direction, you actually see someone. It looks like it was one of the city guards. They're with a few people, and he's fighting off one of the zombie things. As he's kind of like shouting at the people that he's with, you see them open up basically a manhole cover and drop into the sewers. The guard does manage to cut the zombie's head off and then kind of follow after them.
Okay. So they're in the sewer. I did. You are correct.
All right. Then after this, you're going to go up to the last level. You're not going to have much more. You're going to have a very brief amount of time up here because you've actually kind of scanned quite a bit. So give me one more perception check.
10.
10. You see much more of these kind of charred zombie things.
Those are now named Borpses.
Borpses?
Burnt corpses.
Yes.
That was unexpected.
I'm glad you got it.
All right, and then as you start to get in here, one thing that you're noticing. First of all, this place is fully ablaze. There is not much here that is not burning. It's almost to the point that it's actually like starting to melt some of the stone.
That's hot.
You also have no idea what is keeping this thing fueled.
That's really hot.
Woohoo!
Are you doing liquid dragon fire?
Yikes. Hate that.
I'm not describing anything. That's what you guys are here to investigate. All right, and then as you do notice though that like what remnants do seem to be left, it looks like this was much more of kind of like an upper class residential area, and there's not much of it left.
Woo.
And then your spell ends.
Alright.
Find out
I
some
saw a
things.
bunch of goons. That big burning thing we saw was an elemental. There's some burning corpses that are walking around and attacking people, and I saw a bunch of people jump into the sewers.
Okay.
I suppose of all
I've
places.
named the burning corpses Borpses.
Great.
I don't know if I'm gonna
Alduin,
follow up on using that name.
you're too much for me.
Listen, it's simple. It gets the job done.
You're not wrong.
Why not corpses?
Oh, fire corpses. Forpses. That's Borpses is more fun to say.
Corpses and forpses?
Borpses and forpses. So if they're mostly on fire, forpses. If they're a little on fire or just burned very badly, borpses. Nice.
I would say like
This
if
is
they're
a
charred,
fucking
corpses,
natural,
but
almost natural disaster, and you guys are
There's
arguing
no-
about
That's
semantics.
it.
Everyone reacts to panic situations differently, I guess.
I mean, at this point, we already saw the desert freeze. An island burning?
We've been in the Feywild.
I think that we've become a bit desensitized to this
A
situation.
little.
What time of day is it?
It is.
It's fire o'clock.
It is. Ooh, let's see. So it would have taken you guys most of the day to get about 5 miles out,
Yeah.
and then it took you guys about 8 minutes to get there. So it's starting to become evening. You probably have about 3 or 4 hours of daylight left.
Do we would just want to rest here and get a fresh start in the morning?
I don't know if I trust this building not to catch fire.
Why don't we go into after the citizens that fled into the sewer?
Because we might not find them, and then we might end up in the bad part of a sewer. Because I saw them all the way up on the second level, considerably west from here.
Got it.
There should be some sewer entrances on this level as well.
Yes, but if they're as intricate as a lot of sewer systems are, we are not going to make it there in 3 or 4 hours.
Well, I just meant to get into
Yeah,
the
same.
sewer and we could just sleep by that entrance and come back up.
I could arcane eye again and go find one.
That or I'm sure we'd be able to see.
I'm trying to consider stealth here.
Supposed to mean.
Your armor's loud. I am also not very good at stealth. And he points at his horns.
You and I are both not very good at stealth-theory.
I'm
See,
too big.
see, Tal tries to hide in a bush, and
It's
the bush
just-
has
This
horns.
bush has antlers.
That's the best mental image.
He can't peek around corners. Because if he tries, it's just bloop.
It's like this, but I need to stick two
It's-
things on it.
It's
I
just
should really get permanent disadvantage for stealth. Just based on my character design.
I'm not that cruel.
I mean, it would make sense. I would not follow you.
I would really, really like Tell to need to climb a tree and navigate.
Oh, that's got to be the worst.
He would kill himself on accident by getting caught somehow and
Just
breaking his
hang.
neck.
Hang yourself by your horns.
All right, what do you guys do? You know, you guys can act separately too.
Oh yes, splitting up the party. That's a grand idea. Great.
I could turn invisible and see about getting us to the second
What
way.
level is invisibility?
Grade 2.
Good, because Arcane Eye is 4.
'Cause I
Did
could
you say
just-
grade?
I could just.
I just caught that. You've been spending too much time with paths. Level 2.
What's this called?
Player's Guide. Handbook!
The name is on the cover!
There's glare.
Yeah, it's called the PGB.
Anyway.
But I could turn us all invisible. See,
Well, that you'd have to like significantly upcast that to get all of us, wouldn't
I mean,
you?
it would just be a level 5 then.
For 4. Oh yeah, because you have to up it.
By 1 per person.
So at that point, we'd be saving resources by doing the Arcane Eye.
Unless we want to get up to the 2nd floor to try to see what's going on with the survivors.
Well, we'd also have to travel west. That wasn't close to us. That was.
Well, you had been scanning sideways, so it's not as far west. It's. I'm gonna say north for the sake of this, but you guys, it's not truly north. It's
I mean,
Northeast
we're
a bit.
invisible for an hour.
I'm not sure we can get there now because we have to go up a tier.
Where are the stairs for the tiers?
Where are the stairs for the tiers?
I actually drew them. If you guys head directly from where you are to the 2nd tier, like directly towards like the temple, there's a set of stairs right there.
So pretty close. So it would not take us very long to get to the 2nd tier. Where do we need to go on the 2nd tier? We should probably just keep that map out. Just put it in the middle. Can we mark it
Sure.
in pencil? That way you can erase it if you need to. So where are we?
So I'm assuming these are the stairs that we can take up.
Yes. Okay. So on this level, I put roads, but then I realized that I spent way too much time. Can you transit? I don't have the transition for
I think
this.
that it might not show up well.
Probably not, but
No, it's not too bad.
It shows up.
move the handbook out of the way.
If you want, I can outline that
No. Okay.
for
So,
the actual map.
all right. So you guys are roughly here.
Okay.
The fire elemental thing that you found was about here.
Premiere.
So you kind of went up and
Why
around
did you
here.
draw
So
Paul with his horns up?
it's fire. Where you spotted the people going into the sewers was about here.
So we need to go here and then over.
Yes.
Okay,
That's not too
So
bad.
we
that's
can
not bad at all.
we can avoid this guy pretty easily by just going. Whoop.
When
Over
you
here.
when you saw the fire elemental, it did look like it was fairly distracted.
Okay.
So if we're careful,
I mean, I can just turn us invisible and then.
Yeah, because I'm getting pretty close to getting into spell points that I will not recover from a long rest.
I will recover fine.
Okay.
We're pretty close to it.
Ooh, excuse me. All right, so it sounds like you're gonna cast invisibility.
And then Eldwin will lead us.
All right. If I remember invisibility, it gives you a static, like, huge bonus to stealth.
I thought invisibility was just a condition.
Oh, it is. Invisible. An invisible creature is impossible to see without the aid of magic or a special sense for the purposes of hiding. The creature is heavily obscured. The creature's location can be determined by any noise it makes or any tracks it leaves. Attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage, and the creature's attack rolls have advantage. Alright, so you guys aren't... So for the purposes of stealth, the only thing I'm going to make you guys roll for is basically how much noise you're making. So yeah, but this is going to be another skill check thing where...
Would we have advantage than Erica rolls normally?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
because this is only obscuring the sight.
Okay.
They won't be able to see you that way, but if they hear you, it's not going to do them much good anyway. So go ahead and roll, Erica. You still have to roll at disadvantage because clank, 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 clank.
Flank, flank, flank.
19 on my end.
21.
I rolled a 20 and I rolled disadvantage. Seven. He bonks his head
11.
and swords on the
11?
doorway. Yeah.
All right, so the two of you that rolled really well, you guys hear Tellen Nakane trouncing around. Tell you kind of trip over some rubble. Kind of, you two turn around and go, shut up. Quiet down.
Maybe we should have shoved them in the bags.
There was a line in the Hunger Games where Katniss was like, I don't know how Peeta walks like this. He's the loudest thing that I've ever heard walk through the woods.
But effectively, like you guys pointing out, hey, shut up. You guys are able to start to traverse the city much better. And you guys kind of stop when you see a group of the steam elementals kind of run past.
You know what probably works in our favor too? Fire's fucking loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also have a contingency if they think they've spotted us. No, casting Shatter way the fuck over there.
You would lose the invisibility from that, but because the moment
Any action?
the moment you take an
Yeah.
action or an attack,
Damn.
What if I threw ball bearings?
so just like tink,
Uh-huh.
could be argued that
Play
you could do it
Pale
without it.
Innocence.
Yeah. Shatter's a little bit different because
Yeah.
that's
That's
the full.
casting a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do still have 3,000 ball bearings.
I never thought ball bearings would be used individually ever because just throw them out so things slip around. No, our party
But then I'm like, oh, test that water.
individual ball bearings.
Yeah, they're meant to be used as per bag consumable resource.
My phone is dying.
And then you have me over here like, I wonder how far of a drop this would be.
So I don't have phone charger.
Not on me. But yes.
One over there by me.
Using it like a firestone.
I just kind of.
God
One
damn
over
it.
there by me.
Bio was fine.
But yeah. So you guys. I guess there's one other thing I need you guys to make. Actually, I need Alduin to make.
What's up?
That's a survival check.
Did he roll his d20s for his magical stuff for
Ooh,
Arcane
that's a
Eye?
good question. Go ahead
I
and
did not.
roll for
Also fly.
Arcane Eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So,
thought you did for fly.
Nope.
so first one was for fly. I assume it wasn't a 1.
It was a 5. That one's cocked. I think I need to start removing some dice from my tray.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
do
you
I.
got quite a few over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to empty
Well,
out my.
see, my thing is I end up needing a lot of them for my spells because some of them use like 5d8.
You need like a little cup that, or like
well,
little,
then
little
start
jars.
putting some of the d20s away in d12s.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
a good idea.
you know, there's something we could do. We could get. So you know how like in bars and stuff, there's like the peanut barrels. Just get one of those and just fill it with dice.
Or those little like multiple slot trays or whatever. You could put all the d12s in one and all
Oh,
the
like one of the
d4s.
little salad things?
Yeah.
I think I have one of those if you want it, Jake.
Because then if you need a whole bunch of like d4s.
The
or
only
whatever,
I was gonna say the only thing I have is super loud metal, but I could.
Mine's plastic.
Oh.
And you're not rolling in them, you're just
No.
keeping them in there.
I
Then
could,
we
I
can
could,
start putting some of this.
I could just buy a bunch of tabletop loot dice
Uh-huh.
and just empty out all the containers.
The disadvantages of being an arcane caster.
Just don't even use our own dice. Just use the DM provided appetizer dice.
God.
While you wait for your meal, which will never come.
The meal is when you get to use one of the d20s out.
Yes, so survival check. This is to navigate your way back to where you thought they went in.
18.
18. All right, so you are able to find your way back.
Get my dice bag over here.
You guys first navigate your way through the residential district. It looks pretty much the same across the board. Buildings are on fire. Some of them, like, you sometimes spontaneously catch fire. But you guys eventually make it to the stairs, which is it's this set of stairs that cuts into the island itself, heading up to the second level. So you guys,
Just notice the time.
yeah, I realize. You guys are going up, basically, in this very narrow stairway, because this part of the island just goes straight up, and the stairway cuts through it. So you guys walk through the stairway and come up basically in the middle of the market district. And then you start to navigate your way around. The buildings here don't seem to be as on fire. There's actually a few buildings that look like they have been relatively untouched. Some other buildings have fallen and kind of crashed into them, managing not to light them. But for Alduin, since you kind of looked up here, you're probably assuming this is where the residents of the island seem to be kind of this is where they've been defending.
Okay.
So you navigate through the streets from what you remember from the Arcane Eye. Thank God Alduin has a very high intelligence from remembering all this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should I have been rolling that survival with intelligence?
Probably. You rolled high enough with the
Yeah.
wisdom that I didn't question it at this point. We'll probably do that next time. So, you eventually find the manhole cover and the charred corpse. So, actually, all of you now get to see
It's a corpse.
the ashen zombies.
A chorps.
Corpse.
A chorps.
Charred corpse.
Chorps.
Chorps, borps, and forps.
Good to know there's already classification going. You open the manhole cover, and I'm assuming all of you are jumping inside.
Yep.
The first thing I will note, who's actually probably opening the manhole cover?
Probably me.
It's a manhole cover.
You-
Those things weighed like 200 pounds.
You lift it up, and immediately you are hit with a god-awful stench.
Yeah, a hot sewer sounds real bad.
What Myth would know, Falena was actually considered the cleanest city in all of Ethereum, because the aqueduct system also funneled into kind of the sewer system, having fresh running water going through the sewers, keeping it relatively clean.
Compared to most sewers?
Compared to most sewers. So something is wrong.
It's horrible that they haven't thought to use create water to flush out some of the gross.
You think they haven't been.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Y'all better plug your nose.
I mean, as soon as you're the first one to smell it, but as soon as you open up, everyone can smell it.
Good thing corpses don't smell.
Old ones do.
Well, the corpses.
The corpses.
Sorry.
Nah, they would smell like burning flesh.
But they probably don't pay attention to what they're smelling.
You mean they don't have a sense of smell?
Yes.
Got it. I thought
Alright.
you meant they don't smell to us.
Oh
I was
no,
like,
they probably smell
"They smell
quite
pretty
bad.
awful."
All right, so who's going in
Especially
first?
with all those gases in their stomach boiling.
Stop.
I rolled a nat one, so me.
You open it up, everyone smells it, Myth jumps in.
It's like, oh god.
Alright, let's go.
All right. And I assume all of you follow after Nakane. You're probably last, putting the manhole cover back.
Just gonna prestidigitate for breeze.
Constantly.
I'm just gonna sit here and prestidigitate so I don't have to smell this.
Just gonna prestidigitate
All right.
that nice for
But
breeze.
this is actually where we're going to take
Linen.
our first break. Where we are going to start our first giveaway, which is of these kind of pearlescent,
Jolly Rancher, cherry
we're calling them the Jolly Rancher dice.
Jolly Rancher
Who
Reds.
do you want me to show on the...
Yes, go ahead. So we'll be doing the first giveaway, and I cannot remember what I entered for the code.
The focus is a
The
little...
Jolly Rancher Red Pack.
Oh, actually, I need to double check something just in case.
Yep, that didn't work.
Hold on.
What?
All of my dice for 3 sets, except for 2 of them, fit in this egg. I have a new travel dice container. It is a dice egg.
I forgot.
Oh, yes, you
Oh
do
my
have your
gosh.
fish.
The feed.
I'll probably leave.
Mine is at home. It's a Reese's peanut butter cup bag that my grandmother sewed into an actual
All right, so
big bag with like a zipper.
enter the word
I
fires
need to break it and I keep forgetting.
as spelled in that command that managed to fail.
Fires.
And we will be right back. I have another system that is currently working on that, so if someone can enter, I'll be able to double check to make sure that that is still working.
I could enter and just.
You actually can't because you're a mod. It automatically doesn't let mods do it.
Fine, I won't test it. Somebody else test it.
But yes, so enter the word fires, F-I-R-E-S, and we'll enter for a chance to win those dice.
Fire.
All right, we will be back in just a minute, and
Fire in the.
we'll see you. We'll see you back soon.
Tired of the road, tired of the sun. Miss my missus and her home cooked buns. Our backs are bent, our feet are sore. We're traveling along on the barren moor. But that's alright, that's okay. We'll drink ale anyway. Lightfoot grows heavy, stout grows trim. Harefoot gets hairy. Raise your flagons and fill them to the brim. That's alright and that's okay, 'cause we're all halflings anyway. This brew, that song, we dance together all night long. Dragon so dark, dark as night, failed to fly from the arrow's bite, fell from above on the tailor's house. Hey, everybody, get your dragon suit and blouse. This brew, that song, we dance together all night long. Tired of the road, tired of the sun, miss my missus and her home cooked buns. Our backs are bent, our feet are sore, we're traveling along on the barren moor. But that's alright, that's okay, we'll drink ale anyway.
upon the sea. The rest do look so paltry small when I compare to thee. Oh, Molly's rise, the best girls in the land. To your every need, there's no place that I'd rather be. Short on stature, laid out drink, as orphans parched and dry. Then run you ragged through the night, all Hellenized for your delight. Oh, Molly's rise, no other I can stand. I've traveled far and wide the sea, there's no place that I'd rather be. Adored and so at home you'll feel when you're at Molly's dive. Till money's spent I'd not frequent another tavern of the night. Oh, Molly's rise, they'll take you by the hand. Full of girls who laugh and tales recording on Molly's rise. And gals from distant lands, exotic, dark and fine. Just take your pick and enter in. The worries vanish in no time. Oh, Molly's rise, the most exotic band. And it's time to life from girls, just come and give the prize a try. To your every taste, be orc or elf or forfeit high. For a price, they'll bring their friends, and you'll be envied far and wide. Oh, Molly's rise, the best girls in the land. To your every need, there's no place that I'd rather be. Jump into a kraken's jaws, or pluck out a beholder's eye. I'd do most anything I can to be with those sweet Molly's bride. Oh, Molly's bride, no other I can stand. I've traveled far and wide the sea, there's no place that I'd rather be. When it's time to go to sea, my heart will give a sigh, for I will miss a tumbling with lovely Molly's rise. Time in bed had been well spent, I'll fondly keep in mind the lovely face and other parts of fair sweet Molly's bride. Oh, Molly's bride, the best girls in the land. To your every need, there's no place that I'd rather be. Oh, Molly's bride, no other I can stand. Far and wide the sea, there's no place that I'd rather be.
Despite of the seven seas, sailing with the Jolly Roger, boat is what we see. Aboard the vessel and get the copper, raise your kettles and have a fire. You blunder to fill them with plum. Now let's celebrate with rum.
Yo-ho, matey ho, I tell you about boy, but before we hit the high tide, pour me another black Jango wine.
Once I was in the bridge, sailing through peaceful waters, quite 3 ships to the wind, when suddenly appears the Kraken.
Blow me down.
Must be the work of Davy Jones. Bring a spring upon her, for the love of Neptune, hey behold. got to the sun while the ship sinks in the water.
Son of a biscuit eater!
I really need a clap of thunder. We'll see each other again. You monster, I'll beat you up. Now let's find a place to drink and crack the jelly stick.
Ho, matey, ho! I tell you, Bob, boy, but before we hit the high tide, pour me another black jungle wine. Yo ho, matey, ho! I tell you, Bob, boy, but before we hit the high tide, pour me another black jungle wine. Yo ho, matey, ho! I tell you, Bob, boy, but before we hit the high tide, pour me another black jungle wine. Yo ho, matey,
Oh shit!
ho!
I pressed the wrong button.
Hey, we're back anyway.
I also pressed the wrong buttons. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Slim. I didn't know you streamed.
Jake fucked up.
Jake done a goof.
Jake, that never happens.
Ah, no.
No. I cannot wait to cosplay
so
that crazy
I
man.
ran a one-shot on Thursday
Jade wins.
because I hadn't GM'd. Well, yeah, Jade's the only one that entered.
Yes.
Aw.
It's been a little bit slow
Your
today.
face.
I'll get these sent to you, Jade.
But I ran a one-shot on Thursday because I hadn't GM'd in a while, and I was like, I want to do this dungeon I designed. And one of the players opened the door, went, nope, shut the door, locked it, and turned around and left.
I've had you twice now.
Nature can
Well,
have that.
they entered the room and it was a ball girl.
Oh, you guys fucked up the camera.
What?
Someone on that side of the table fucked up the camera. No, look at it.
You guys.
Oh, that was me when I was stretching. I'm all limbs. I was stretching. There's no good place for me in this house to stretch. It is a hobbit hole.
Listen, I'm aware of that, and
You need higher ceilings. You need tall people with clamp proportion clearance.
warning,
How
low
do you even
ceilings.
do that? Like,
I stood up.
oh.
And also,
Well, don't lean.
Yeah.
Look, see? I'm not leaning right now, and I'm 100% not touching it.
thumb.
Thumb.
You have to, like, try to hit that from where
I
we
stood
sit.
up. I stood up and I had to stretch.
Oh boy. Okay, so
Tonight is the night of dropping things.
that was the D60, wasn't
Is
it?
there a
Sure
reason we
fucking
keep
was.
dropping everything?
How'd you know?
I want to cosplay.
Because I saw it spinning.
I want to cosplay Angel, and then I remember my Homestuck days with makeup, and I'm like, ha, no.
No.
Alrighty then. Okay, so we left off just as you guys were jumping into the sewers of Falena's Market District.
Hooray.
So yes, it immediately smells horrible.
Oh, goody!
Smells like shit and piss.
Yay!
Smells like my childhood.
I thought you were about to say it smells like my house, and I was gonna be like, hey.
Better not be.
It doesn't smell like anything right now. It's frozen.
All right, so where you guys drop into, which myth you immediately notice as your boots land in disgusting water.
Prestidigitation, 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 prestidigitation.
With every step, Myth is prestidigitating her.
You're
Her
only taking
boots.
one step every 6 seconds.
Just every 6 seconds.
But yeah, so eventually all of you get down here. And from where you guys are, there are two directions that you can see. I'm going to orient this in kind of a north-south cardinal direction. So there's one tunnel, or one part of this going to the north, and the other going to the south. And you do not see anybody immediately.
I look in the piles of shit. Do I see tracks in which direction they went?
Give me a survival check.
That one wisdom.
Yes. You're not going to be able to get intelligence out of all of them.
8.
My God, you do see a track, and then you kind of start to follow it, and you bump into Myth.
Hi, Goosemith.
I can't say what the response to that is, so...
You goose Myth. Myth reaches back and cups you. And then
I
keeps
regret.
walking.
I regret.
A boner in the sewers.
Sewer owner.
Sewer boner.
Ew.
It's the
Ew.
weirdest porn ever.
Ew. Ha! No.
Is that just a Super Mario,
Goose cup walk.
Super Mario porn? Sewer boner?
Alright, so are you heading north or south?
You and I are both like several levels of no.
I'm not going to make you decide at every turn, just for which direction you guys are choosing to start going.
If we're trying to catch up with survivors, south is probably the right choice because then they're getting closer to the shoreline to evacuate.
Yeah, but if they're staying in the sewers, would they have gone downhill? Because I don't know if you know this, but there are 3 rules to being a plumber. Hot's on the left, payday's on Friday, and shit flows downhill.
Good point.
Alduin has a sudden realization of what sewer knowledge is.
Alden remembers in one of his other timelines he was a plumber.
No, physics is pretty consistent. Shit flows downhill.
Okay, north it is, since we're probably going to need to spend the night in here.
Alright, well, first I'm going to have you roll a survival check since you guys are attempting to find people. Wow, lucky and inspiration?
That was a lot better.
Oh my god.
17. I rolled an @1 on the inspo.
Alright. So, you guys,
Sorry. I just looked at Chad.
What does Chat say?
Go whichever way the sewer boner is pointing, like a compass.
May the sewer boner be your guide.
that's the kind of dowsing rod I do not want to touch.
What was your kobold's name again? No, the name.
Yes, guys.
Oh my god.
Let's investigate the sewers.
And Brax started using the other kobold as a compass.
What? I can't believe that actually happened.
Friends say go this way.
Alright, so you guys begin to walk through the sewers, and based on time, you guys do start to feel like maybe it's time to take a rest. But as you guys are starting to like get settled, I guess, you do hear some voices coming down one of the tunnels of the sewer. It actually sounds like people, so it's not, you're not hearing like, yeah, horrible little goblin elemental things. But it actually kind of sounds like 2 guards talking. And as you guys kind of, like, you guys are going to hear this. You guys are in the sewer system. And the 2 guards walk a corner just as you guys are kind of getting there. And they both jump. Their first reaction is pull out their swords, but then they see that you're not zombies or steam. Oh, good lord!
We're not corpses, don't worry.
What?
The burnt corpses. Corpses.
I'm sad.
Corpses.
What? He just puts the sword away. Are you survivors?
No.
We're here to take care of whatever's doing this.
Oh, thank goodness! Oh, you... When did you guys arrive?
Today.
Like an hour ago. Maybe 2.
You've been on the water all day? You got through the city, My God. Oh, please, come with us. We have the other survivors nearby.
Well, we're a party of 4 spellcasters, so I'd hope we'd be able to get places.
That's
I'm a
Even-
kind of a caster.
that's even better news.
You're a caster. You're a half caster.
Kind.
All right. Well, please follow us. Follow us. We'll take you to the rest of the survivors.
Please tell me it smells better there.
The other guard kind of goes.
You can still smell things? My nose quit working a while ago.
I'm congested. So yeah, they're both going to kind of like take you down further into the sewers, where it kind of opens up into a larger kind of chamber, which you assume at some point water used to flow through here into the other tunnels. It seems to have stopped at this point. So they've actually made use of this area by making it into a makeshift camp. There are probably about 40 people in this area. All of them looking a little bit worse for wear. Covered in shit to a degree. But all of them are alive. The guards, well, here we are. Sorry it's so cramped here, but there's not too many other places we can go.
Did you just apologize for a sewer system being cramped?
I suppose I did.
I don't think we expect 5-star hospitality in a sewer.
No, but I could still apologize for it being crowded.
Crowded's better than the alternative.
Well, please rest here for the night. We know it's getting late. We have to finish some of our patrols, but make yourselves comfortable. We'll talk more tomorrow.
I will quietly song of rest for the people that are...
It adds a bit of a lighter note to the evening. And there were, walking into this room, you kind of felt the energy of people where, I mean, they're in a crisis situation.
We're gonna die in the sewer.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them are thinking. And you kind of start strumming your instrument and sing a little tune. And you do see, like, some people, not like, oh, yay, I'm happy! But, like, you see kind of, like, their day brighten a little bit as just a little bit of music is played. You're not playing, like, a loud song.
Yeah.
You're just kind of,
A gentle
you're kind of like pulling individual strings on it and just kind of humming a song, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right, so
And for anybody who cares, they will get 10 HP back.
for Song of Rest. This is where you guys can take a long rest. For light activity, I will consider you guys talking to other survivors as an option for some of your downtime.
Probably figure out when exactly this started, if anybody saw anything, sort of.
So you're just gonna kind of go around and ask some people. There's a lot of people who just there's quite a few people who just seem like completely shut down.
Yeah.
Like they're just not
Yeah.
willing to talk.
Kind of reassure them that we're here.
There's one individual that you see. He's kind of walking around, and he's kind of giving people water.
It's a Lynn priest.
No, it is not.
Shock.
Instead, you so you kind of say hello. Oh, hello there. How can I help you?
We're here to deal with the situation. How long ago did this happen exactly? We got the rumors, but...
Oh, well, I wanted to say it started about a week ago. That is at least when the beast showed up. And it, sort of started blindly attacking places. The temple put up a bit of a fight, but if you want more about what happened at the temple, and he kind of points over to another area where you actually see a priest to Blinn. They're actually working on like purifying water.
Hey, Tal,
Yes.
they might need help with their water.
Oh. Pulls out the decanter of endless water to the, I'm sure, horror of some of the people
Yeah,
who may have seen me.
A lot of the people that you've noticed that are kind of like shut down, you think they're actually experiencing some kind of oh my god, it's
Shock?
not shock.
Dehydration?
Yeah, it's the stage before heat stroke,
Ah.
which unfortunately I know all too well.
Yep, me too. Heat exhaustion.
Yes, heat exhaustion. There's several of them seem to be experiencing that because one, they're kind of in an area where there's not a lot of fresh water, and it is fucking hot as balls in here.
Alright,
I
everyone.
might have something for this too.
Gather around, everyone. I have something that might help.
I can also wind fan.
Oh, you're
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, you could.
But I'll probably talk to the priest first while Tal's helping the water situation.
But yeah, so so he first pointed to the priest, but aside from that, I was in my shop before all of this happened, so unfortunately, I tried to pack up and leave as quickly as I could, but I don't know the state beyond that. Plenty of the city guards got everyone together to bring them down here. It was the only place we could think of that was safe. So,
I know this is an unpleasant question to ask, but how large of a city were you before?
well, we were quite populated, if that's the answer. We should not be the only group of survivors. This is just for this corner of town. We had actually heard rumors that there were people in the residential district that had hidden out in the sewers, but we haven't heard any good news from that. So, but I'm sure the guards will be able to tell you more about it. I don't know nearly as much. But you said you're here to help, correct? Well, if you could find a way to get to my shop, there may still be supplies there. I'm an alchemist. There's plenty...
Baldwin's head slowly leans around the corner.
I should have some supplies there that could help you. Anything I can do to help get all of this tragedy to end would be... well, I hope it can help.
What's the shop name? Sorry.
The Potion's Delight.
We'll keep an eye out.
I left in a hurry, so I couldn't gather as much as I could. But there is a store of potions in the basement. You should be able to get them. There's all sorts of potions in there. There's plenty of health potions, but there's also I wish I could go back and get them, but we are asked not to leave. There should be some potions of fire resistance, which in this situation may be very helpful.
Yes. I think I'm the only one that can cast fire resistance.
All right. But then he kind of goes, well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go back to trying to help everyone.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, and best of luck to you. All right,
That's
who
somebody
else?
else's turn.
Who else is doing stuff? You're gonna get your decanter of endless water out and start helping people, right? So, you kind of open your decanter, and you start offering people water. And the first person you kind of offer it to, they're like, no, please, save some for yourself.
It's like, oh no, it's a decanter of endless water. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop?
No.
That's wonderful.
Yes, but don't drink too fast. Go slow or you'll make yourself sick.
Oh,
I'll
thank
be
you.
helping with the alchemy jug.
Water.
Water.
Or instinctively, Alduin goes, beer. Wait, no.
Stop! Fresh water. Ah, shit. Well, it's half full of beer. I gotta drink it for it.
God damn, we have a drunk Alduin.
Alduin's wasted. Beer.
Alduin!
Elwyn goes and gathers up all the guys that look like they could use a drink and just sits with them and goes, beer.
And all of you get heat stroke. All right, so you're also helping people out with the alchemy jug. All right, Nakane, what are you doing?
I was actually just looking at my spells.
There is the priest to Blinn.
The uptime command usually tells how long people have been online in a specific stream, by the way.
Oh.
This isn't, uptime isn't how long the channel's been around. So tried an uptime command. We don't have that.
You mean how long?
How long the stream's been active in this current stream.
I can-
So that might be one we need to...
Yeah, I can double check.
Probably go talk to the priest of Blinn.
All right, let me quickly write this down.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to do that.
How long the stream? Good enough.
How long the stream?
Yeah, so there's a cleric. Well, a priest. He's sitting there. He's trying to purify water. But as you notice, tells start basically dumping out water endlessly. Okay. He passes the water on to somebody who's going to start distributing it. He is determined at this point it is not worth his spell points to keep doing this.
Yep.
And then
He'll make sure the people with like heat exhaustion or whatever, the ones that are approaching it, he makes sure to like go up to them and tell them to drink slowly, as they will get sick.
All right. So by the time that he kind of passes the bowl of water, that's about when you show up. Oh, hello. It's been a while since I've seen one of your kind.
Yeah, you're gonna see another one of us too. And she points at Tell.
Oh, yes, the other one. I'm sorry. Who are you, may I ask?
My name is Nakane.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Nakane.
Leechbusters.
Nakane will never say that. So you know. She will never. She'd be like, no.
We get a call.
In this case, they literally did call you.
One of the guards said that we should talk to you to get more information on what has happened here.
Oh, well, in particular, it was the alchemist.
Or the alchemist, yeah.
And just to clarify, to get this in the right
thank you.
direction, it was what happened with the attack.
Yes.
Well,
Still say about the rough, the tough, and the horny.
That was a very good one.
well,
Can't believe Nin
that
shut
can
us
be
down
our
on that one and then
favorite
left.
Yeah. Why did he get a choice in this when he left?
he'll be back.
That'll be our in-group name though, the rough at the tough and the horny.
That could be our RP chat.
Yes.
Oh God. All right.
The tough, and the horny.
Well, where do I begin? Well, the temple was doing well. We were holding our own. As you can imagine, as a temple to Blinn, we had plenty of individuals skilled in water and ice magic. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. In fact, roll persuasion.
Bardic inspiration.
So far, your group seems trustworthy. But note that I am still a little bit, what's the word for it? On edge.
Given what has happened to you all, I don't blame you at all.
It runs a bit deeper than what everyone else here has. We were doing fine in the temple. We had plenty of clerics and paladins to help stave off the attack. But a wizard who claimed to come to help didn't exactly help. Well, he helped.
But not the right side.
Words that will be
He helped the dragon. He's
Let's find out. Pause real quick. Let's find out how well Nakane keeps her temper. Like,
Let's find out if it's her dad, future Alduin, or the guy that we left on the boat.
or the redheaded asshole that wanted the base.
Yeah. We've got so many options for people that could have come and helped the dragon.
So let's find out.
Next time.
well, he
I keep forgetting about syndrome.
I'm so upset that that's what you guys are calling him.
I forgot.
Well, he basically incapacitated some of our best clerics when they weren't looking. And I barely made it out. As you can imagine, a dragon showing up, well, a bone dragon thing, I really have no idea what I was looking at. It effectively showed up, so as many of us left as we could. Unfortunately, that's not many.
Considering I experienced something similar in the Southern Sphere, you all are lucky to have gotten out with the numbers that you have.
Agreed. I think, if I recall, 2 or 3 of my brothers and sisters made it out, and once we found one group of survivors, the others went looking for the others. I only hope that they're still okay. Many of them are skilled, so I'm not entirely worried, but given what's happened, you can never be too nervous.
This is true. Did the wizard give a name?
If he did, I don't remember.
What did he look like?
He was an elf. It's kind of hard. He kind of bland face, I guess. But he was accompanied by someone.
Someone?
Yes. It was a woman. She was wearing a robe. I didn't catch much more about her.
Fortunately, that could still be anybody. Even though I know, it's still not enough information for me.
We're sitting here going. Accompanied by someone else. Mimi.
Unfortunately, that's not very descript.
I apologize. There's been a lot that's been going on.
Like I said, given what has happened here, I do not blame you in the slightest.
I wonder if I could minor illusion the likeness of your dad based on your description.
My God, it just like turns her head.
I mean, all of you have seen him.
Oh yeah, we did see him.
Yeah, you saw him in Masks of the Dead.
I have a question for you. Now, as I said before, I come from the Southern Sphere, and we encountered something of similar nature, just a different element.
Oh, really?
The Southern Sphere is currently covered in ice, and a creature of similar origins, I guess you could say. Stature. Yeah, that's the word I look for. Stature, but using ice appeared instead of fire. That
feels like that can't be a coincidence. Which, from my experience of reading about any sort of lore that either means this is the end times.
I got a muscle cramp like in my ribs. Sorry.
Just punch
the
it.
under the titty cramp.
Yeah, like right where my bra sits. Sorry.
Just punch it.
No. I don't really want to punch myself in the tit.
No, just like at the base. Yeah, just like that.
You can give yourself a diaphragm massage.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that'll.
Preferably not on stream.
No,
Yes.
that's Kegels that you don't want to do on stream.
Yeah,
Diaphragm
Jade.
massage is just
Yeah,
a
Jade. I get
thing.
to be Harry Potter for a while. Yeah.
Why does everyone say that?
I like that it's whoever's having the worst time is Harry Potter.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't wait till it's your turn.
I can't wait till it's the
Soon.
DM's turn.
I hate that you just said that.
Until it's
I thought
my
you said
turn?
you wanted to meet the rest of your coven.
Really? I
If
didn't
you
want
don't
my
want
mom.
us to meet them.
I didn't want my mom to come an undead zombie to my dad, but here we are.
You're gonna meet the remnants of your coven, all 2 of them. That would be
But yeah,
Plus ox.
encounters.
Is that just
Our group was tasked by the
Someone would let him stay.
Temple of Church of Temp to investigate some strange ongoings regarding a certain family's crypt. I gotta stay as vague as possible. The head of the church was attacked. I'm gonna let you roll.
No, I'm mostly rolling for his own memory.
Yeah. I'm not sure, given how far away we are, how far familiar you were with the circumstances, but
Unfortunately, not very. A lot of my business was here in the city.
we encountered a strange. Pardon me, it's a very difficult. Lost my entire home.
I am sorry to hear.
And my grandmother. But we encountered a wizard, much like yourselves did, an elf. I'm interested in learning. The elf we encountered, dark hair, angular features.
That does sound about right.
He was a necromancer.
Oh. You kind of see him, he kind of, looks off into the distance. Well, that makes sense. If I had to guess, that would be the kind of magic I saw.
I know exactly who you are dealing with, and you are lucky that you are alive.
Oh, you do not need to be the one to tell me that. But
As for the woman, and she just kind of goes quiet and doesn't say much else.
got it. Well, any help that you can give us will be greatly appreciated. I'm sure the guards will be happy to talk to you, especially in the morning. I'm sorry if the news I gave you is less than ideal.
No. While you are right, it is less than ideal. I've been looking for him for my entire life.
All right. Well, I am going to be continuing to help some people, if you don't mind.
No, feel free. Let me know if I can be of any assistance.
Of course. And he's gonna go off and start kind of making sure water gets distributed.
Mikane separates herself from everybody and is just going,
I got shit.
All right. So, after a bit, you guys are gonna need to sleep. You guys do not need to keep watch unless you want to.
Mikane probably doesn't get much sleep, given the news.
So where's Myth sleeping? Because I know Myth doesn't like to be out in the open.
I do have my tent still.
And I have my cloak.
Okay, so a lot of sewers have little offshoot culverts.
I mean, you... Okay.
Is this camp near one? Low.
Wait, why am I doing that? Yes, there is. You're hiding in one of those.
Take the grate off. Slide in. Prestidigitate it clean beforehand.
All of you just kind of see Myth walk away.
Myth just becomes a little snake in a tunnel.
You're not a snake anymore.
Just should put in feet first.
I need to look up the size of it real quick.
Oh?
I have something that was specifically designed for this instance.
Darren's Instant Fortress?
Yes.
It will not fit in here.
Okay.
There are 40 other people in this place.
Well, I was gonna see if I can find like another room to set the fortress up in.
This is the biggest room nearby. Because if I'm correct, that's a 40-foot by 40-foot space. The 40-foot by 40-foot space, it will fit in this room. Width-wise, but not...
20 feet on a side and 30 feet high.
It will not fit
Okay.
in height-wise. Unless you want it to, like, destroy the road. But I don't think that's how it works. I think it would try to expand and then just go back. Yeah, so it would fit in 2 dimensions, but not the height.
Interestingly enough, the Harbinger of Rats has appeared in chat.
Oh.
They are all in a sewer.
I'm
Foreshadowing? Alright, so. Okay, I guess all of you are going to get some rest then?
Kind of.
So,
Best I can.
so recover any spell points, any hit points you're missing, which I don't think you guys are at this point. I think you guys are pretty well rested up.
I am healthy.
Which I actually need to keep track of with the calendar. Okay. All right. So.
Oh my goodness. I just realized if this was a different dungeon, I still have that potion of fire breath. I could just be in this hole and be a fire trap. And nobody would think somebody was in there. They would just think it was a trap.
Until they looked, saw.
An elf.
I have a trap I need to put in my next dungeon.
A very upset elf. With potions of fire breath.
It's a kobold with a potion of fire breath that's just sitting in a hole.
What's going on? I'm gonna set you with fire.
Morning. I'd like to go a little ways away. And I would like to safely start a fire.
Oh?
Why?
Specifically a 10-foot fire.
Why?
All right. What are you trying to accomplish with this fire?
Well, in order to summon a fire elemental, I need a 10-foot cube of fire.
Why?
So, how are you starting this fire?
Firebolt. It sets
Okay.
things on fire when it hits.
All right. So, what exactly are you setting on fire, though?
This is the reason I'm going a fair distance away.
No.
I'm lighting the shit on fire.
You're smearing it in like a 10-foot cube.
Okay. High or low?
Hi.
All right. So you cast Firebolt at effectively a pile of shit.
Yes.
How far away are you?
What's the range of firebolt? 120 feet.
Okay. No, because the sewers turn before 120 feet.
So as far
So you could
away as
probably get about 60.
So I'll be like around a corner going.
All right, so you throw out a firebolt. And now, Alduin's a smart cookie. You've
He's an idiot.
he's an idiot, but he's a smart cookie. Alduin roughly knows, like,
What methane does?
what methane does and how much it ignites. This went a little bit further than you were expecting. Like, there's something else going on here. As the fire pretty much fills the next junction. It actually fills about a 40-foot diameter, what would be a circle, of shit.
Did you go far enough away for us to not see this happening?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I cast Conjure Elementals at the 7th level.
All right. What does that give you?
I am getting a Fire Elemental Myrmidon.
Just one of them?
Yeah, it's only Conjure Elemental is one creature.
Thank you, Jade.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why.
Would you like to know why? Because the Fire Elementals are immune to fire.
But they also deal fire damage.
No, they don't. The Fire Elemental Myrmidon deals slashing damage.
Oh.
Why not water elementals?
Because they're not immune to fire. Don't ask me why. It doesn't make sense to me.
Because you
Aren't
hit.
they resistant to fire?
No.
Because when you hit them with fire, they turn into steam.
Water elementals made of piss water and shit. Ew.
Oh, you have. Oh, right. You're
Yeah.
temporally plagued. All right.
And then I'll take a little bit of time to put the fire out.
All right. Well, first, so you cast the spell to conjure forth a fire myrmidon. And, like, you've researched the spell. I mean, it's in your book. And so a fire myrmidon walks out. And then a second one walks out.
Sup, bro?
And both of them are looking at you. They don't say anything.
Damn it, Aldrin.
Because I don't think they have a language.
Primordial.
Yeah, wouldn't they speak
I believe they
Primordial?
know Ignan.
Okay.
I will double check that real quick.
Yeah, but none of us here speak.
While
English.
all this is going on, I'm probably prestidigitating the survivor camp
Trying to clean it up as much as you can.
so that it isn't. It's a little
Ignan
bit
in
less
one
miserable.
language of its creator's choice.
Okay, well, they're just very quiet.
So I will give them I don't even need to give them a language. I speak Primordial, which means I understand Ignan.
All right. Like, you understand Ignan, but of course it's the
I'll give them
dialect.
common because that makes sense.
Yeah. So far they don't really say anything.
Why are there two of you?
Because you summoned us.
I summoned one.
You are clearly mistaken.
Okay.
You got two for the price of one, ding dong.
It's almost like you just learned something about this place.
I don't know what I just learned. Is it something Elvin would put together better than I?
Roll an investigation check.
Don't you get a
Investigation?
one?
It can't be Arcana?
I'll give you Arcana for
Okay.
this.
Magic act funny.
20.
All right. From your 2 experiments so far, and your knowledge of how these spells work, you just learned that fire magic apparently is more potent here.
Oh! Okay.
Fireball.
However, you also are making the realization of, oh wait, most of the things here are fire-based.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really help you.
Until it came to the elementals.
Yes.
So I'll trek back with my two.
How long do they last?
You and I came up with 8 hours.
Okay. I can't remember what it originally was.
Yeah,
but...
we were keeping the casting time, but upping the duration to 8 hours.
Oh, yeah, because that was a bullshit duration.
Yeah. It is concentration, though, so I'm concentrating on these the entire time.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of hard. They probably stand taller than you, because are they large creatures?
They're medium.
Medium? I'm gonna
You're kind of short though.
I'm gonna say for flavor though, they are.
Which is weird, because regular fire elementals are large.
I mean, most bonfires are large too, so. But yeah, they probably still stand taller than you. So it's kind of hard for you to not concentrate on them. They're present, there's also 2 of them, so...
Yeah, I'll go back. What's up, guys?
Quite a few of the people that are here, they kind of fail some wisdom saves.
No.
Ah! Ah!
They're with me. They're chill.
Aldwin.
Tell them you're chill, guys.
Alden, what the fuck did you do?
We are not chill. We are on fire.
You're not. God damn it! Are they fucking, what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy? The literal guy.
Grax.
Rex? Yes.
They actually have a wisdom on par with me.
Aldwin.
That's saying so much.
10.
Aldwin, you didn't decide to warn us so that we could warn the poor traumatized people?
I didn't know I was gonna get 2.
You
Getting
warn
one
us.
is enough!
You warned us that you were going to summon a
I
fire
lost
element.
at least.
A couple of the guards end up walking back and... What the fuck?!
Sorry.
Summon them.
Our idiot
They're with me.
spellcaster summoned them
Oh.
for
Without
protection.
telling us.
You do real... You're an idiot.
We know.
Yes.
I think he knows.
This is why I drink.
Oh my god, you made them know common. They know what everybody's saying about you.
Huh?
You made them know common. They know what everyone is saying about you.
Sir, are you sure these are your friends? They're saying this in Ignan, by the way. They sure do not seem to be treating you like
I'm
such.
kind of dating that one.
Myth starts laughing because she's got the helm of comprehend language.
Yeah, but Aldwin doesn't really know that that's the helm now.
Yeah, Alduin is...
She just starts laughing at them.
Very well, we will, stay
Yeah, don't
here.
kill anyone. I don't know how this is
I
my
thought
first-
that's what you were summoning us for.
Eventually, just not these people.
There's steam creatures up
Ah.
there that are quite a problem.
Wait, what?
Who are you
What?
going to have them attack? Not the steam creatures?
Well, I was talking to them in Primordial, so you wouldn't understand anything.
Unless you know Primordial.
And I just joined the conversation in common.
they kind of look at you. Is that so? Well, we will wait for Master's command.
Do you know what they were saying?
Magic.
You weren't there.
Correct.
She would tink the circlet.
Okay. You say so.
Hey, guess what, Aldwin? You are never going to be able to hide anything from your girlfriend, no matter what fucking language you speak. Good luck. And it wanders away.
Why would I hide anything?
Had hid the fact that he was necromancer, and here we are.
Oh, I should probably warn you I'm copying spells from Uranus' spellbook.
By the way, Dad is here. That's who we're fucking dealing with.
Oh.
There's a woman with him. Remember that one spell that we found?
Yeah.
So what if we don't? I'm quoting the Book of Kyle here.
The evocation.
All right.
He kind of goes back to just being in a corner.
Well,
like,
I'm glad all of you are awake. This is one of the guards speaking. I realize that I'm speaking to a lot of different people.
hello!
I'm glad you're all awake. Perhaps we could talk about what's going wrong, since you are all here to help the city.
Everything is going wrong.
Well, you are not wrong in that regard. But there are some things we can do. It's just we've kind of been at a standstill.
She's just still prestidigitating things.
So the dragon thing has been wreaking havoc primarily in the lake. It has been spending a lot of its time out on the water destroying any ships that are coming near, which has not been fantastic for us. But since it took over the temple, that is when all the creatures started popping up. ashen zombies, the steam things.
Zombies.
Oh, that's cool.
Alright, corpses.
That's what they look like.
Yeah.
Dear God.
And then they're like, sir, are you sure these people are your friends?
Alright. Well, but there have been a few things that have been causing the most problems. This is where I have to actually double check my notes, because...
Is it the fire?
Well, yes. Yes, the fire is causing a problem. However, that is... There's...
Unfortunately, I don't have a spell to fix that.
I am seriously like, oh, well, I could just, that's a path spell. Well, what if we, no, that's also a path spell.
Well, there's a few key things that we found out about. Not far from here, there is one of the Blinn bathhouses. It has actually been fortified, and the clerics that are inside are sort of defending themselves from... Since you came here from this direction, I assume you saw the giant fire
Thing?
monster. Yes.
Yeah.
That has been trying to besiege them this whole time.
The big fire elemental. That's why I got you guys. I need help with that.
You want us to fight something made of fire?
Yeah.
I am... you hear one of them say, perhaps your friends are correct.
The guy just like cackles. Wait, does he say that in common or primordial?
Primordial.
Myth snorts. She just...
The clerics in there, they are capable of dealing with some of the smaller ones and helping to put out fires, as those are the main casters that can deal with water. I'm sure there are some others trapped on the island elsewhere, but these are the ones that are nearest us. It would actually give us a foothold to be able to start taking back the island.
I have a really cool idea.
On top of that, the Library of Selle in the Market District here, we know that there are some casters trapped there, but...
Oh, he's giving us so many quests. I need to start writing these down.
Probably. It's almost like this is the opening.
How do you spell Blinn?
Blinn.
Okay, I was spelling it right.
I think Bailey is the only one who spells most of my gods wrong.
Yeah, because I think Blinn needs to be with a
Hi,
Y
Dana.
and-
Hello. So we have Blinn, library.
Well, something has been keeping the casters there. We do not have reports of it, but it has something to do with the Ashen Zombies.
And that one shop.
Yeah, the alchemist shop. I know you guys can't handle all of this, but there is one thing that would also ease us some. I don't know if you've been informed, but the sewers in the residential districts have been completely flooded.
Oh.
There were survivors there, but we don't know what happened to them. Which means we've sort of been trapped in the Market District sewers. The aqueducts breaking kind of fed into those sewers a little bit more than usual. So that has been not good. And because of that, that means we are fairly trapped here. And there have been a few guards that have gone missing. We actually believe that there is a creature in the sewers that is attempting to hunt us.
Not great.
Agreed. Considering that me and my my fellow guards are constantly patrolling.
Getting tired.
We're trying to keep the people safe down here, and if something is down here hunting us, that is not exactly what we need. Again, I know that this is a lot, and I don't expect you all to do everything that you can. Well, all of it, I should say. Realistically, the main focus should be trying to take down that dragon thing. But given what is going on, if you can help each of the people that you save, or what you can alleviate for us, will make it easier for us to back you up. Back you up.
So you said before that when the dragon took the temple,
Yes.
that's when all of the smaller creatures started showing up, like the steam elementals and the fire and the corpses.
From who we've spoken to, we believe it's because it started nesting. It did spend several days, a day or two, holed up in the temple. So we assume that it must have been casting some sort of magic to make this place as it is.
Is there anything who knows enough about dragons doing this sort of thing to know whether or not going to the temple would help generally alleviate?
Well, I was just doing a bunch of studying on this, so would I know anything?
About the Abyssus, you've researched quite a bit on it. The one thing that the books really didn't cover as well was their capabilities. That seemed pretty dependent on the dragon that they came from.
Okay.
So, and you are aware that some dragons cast spells.
How much do I know about dragons?
Give me a nature check.
God damn. The one intelligence check I don't have proficiency. I don't have religion either.
Like if we wreck its house, would it...
I'm a lore bard. Half my
12.
shit's fake.
You know all of the basics to dragons. But there's some...
Do I know the whole lair thing?
You know that they make lairs. You do not know what... You don't know the extent that it takes for them to create it, or you just know that different dragons create different lairs.
So, likely the fact that it was bedding down and creating a lair is what caused all of this.
It's possible, yes.
So, hold up. Quick question.
Is this a GM question to the GM or a question to the guard? Okay.
So, this might be kind of a weird long shot, but so Tell and his mentor, back when she was alive, were studying the dragon scar. Would I have any information from all of that research on
the dragon? So, okay. So there's a few unique things about the dragon scar that Tell would know. The big thing about the dragon scar is it didn't have anything to do with dragons kind of bedding down. It actually came from the fact of a huge amount of magic being thrown throughout the area.
Right.
Also, plenty of dragons being dead.
Okay.
So it didn't exactly help the area. And that's largely what your mentor's hypothesis was about it, was that the death of dragons in that area started to kind of corrupt the magic around it. That is more of what you know about the dragon scar. It has a lot less to do with...
So we wouldn't have looked into the dragons themselves in particular?
There was some research into it, but it was a lot more of trying to figure out a way to reverse their the effects that their magic had on it.
Okay.
So it was a lot more research into how the flow of magic works.
I was going to say, so would any of that information help us here based on how their magic works? Not necessarily the lair thing, but if that thing was casting spells?
It's possible, but it's hard to tell given what information you do have.
Okay, So we think that it's a red dragon, right? Or a corrupted red dragon,
Yes.
presumably.
That's the
Ah.
dragon.
That's one of the few dragon types that breathes fire.
Okay.
Volatile.
Do I know anything about the way that their magic corrupts the land specifically?
Well, that's what I was asking
Yeah,
about
that-
with the lair thing. The lair in base D&D lore, whenever a dragon sets up a lair, like for instance, ancient dragons, everything within 10 miles is affected by their type. So, like in ancient silver, everything within 10 miles would be a tundra.
Okay.
That's why I was asking about the lair thing,
Yeah.
because if it's created a lair,
I'm just wondering about the.
As to the corruption of magic, the way that happens, so that has less to do with their type of magic.
Okay.
It had a lot more to do with the huge amounts of magic that was being used constantly.
Okay.
And basically it was overtaxing, because the way magic works is that it's sort of just this energy that kind of fills space, which is actually how all of you retain magic. It's your body storing this magical power.
A sudden rush of it.
Yeah,
Can...
and you can release it in the form of spells. That's how that works. But because you pull it from the area around you,
Other magic comes in to fill that space.
well, sometimes. If you cast enough magic in an area all at the same time, it starts to overtax the area. And that's actually
'cause
where
it's
you can
pulling
get
too much
that's
in.
where you can get wild magic zones, dead magic zones, or in the case of this the dragon scar,
Explosions.
wild elemental effects.
Okay.
Which actually that has more to do with the veils between the planes thinning.
That's dangerously close
Okay.
to spirit magic.
Eh.
When you started describing, like, oh yeah, that would
Yeah, the difference is I don't have colors. The schools of magic are just the ways that different people manipulate it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Just curious if any.
a lesson on magic.
Ew.
If you want a more specific name, it's actually called the quintessence of magic.
a lot more magic.
And actually, that's where detect magic actually comes into play. When someone twists magic in such a way, that's actually what you're seeing. Is you're seeing the twisting of that magic.
Got it. Okay, so you said that the bathhouse, taking that would allow us to get a good foothold,
Yes.
correct?
That would release some of the clerics from their fight. Right, as of now, they've been kind of locked there for a few days. They can't quite take it themselves, but if they had backup, perhaps they could take it down.
And they might be able to take care of some of the smaller things once they've been.
Yes.
on the flip side of that, I was wondering if we do the Library of Sele first, casters are a lot more likely to be able to free a temple, because we don't know if they've got spells that are impeding. And the Temple of Sele is going to have casters that are going to be really specialized.
That will give us it. Most of the casters there that I'm aware of, they do a lot more information gathering. It is a fairly small library in comparison to the one in the City of Gold, so their casters and clerics, they would be far better at doing information gathering.
Which would help with the temple situation and with figuring out what's going on down here.
Indeed.
With the creature and the backup.
Okay.
Yeah, because if we can get to the Temple of Sele, we might be able to get maps of the sewers.
Oh, that too.
And
They would have those, yes.
And we could figure out more aptly where that blockage is.
Well, I should preface that if the library is still standing. It has been a while since we've actually looked, so in that case, time may be of the essence, but same could be said for the other locations.
Could you send? Then that's on this level, right?
Yes.
Second level. Could you send your eye to find it?
Yeah.
To make sure it's still standing, so we don't go all the way there.
Yeah.
In case it's gone.
I can check both of them, and
No, you can't,
why not?
because you have your fire dudes.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
concentration. And Arcane Eye is concentration as well.
You are correct.
Good catch.
A good thought, but no.
You asked about one of my 3 concentration spells out of all the spells I have.
I could take to the air.
That'd probably be the fastest way.
I could.
But
sense
be
Bahamut
but
as well.
be careful. We don't know when the dragon leaves or comes back. Is just
If I'm something small, I might not get noticed.
I could also
Hopefully.
send Larry because I just remembered I have him. So,
It might take
I
Larry
feel like
a while to
flying
get
may
there.
be a better idea.
I would send
I mean-
Kahamut since you can directly communicate with her, and we cannot communicate with you while you were a bird. Grandpa kind of fucked off.
oh, not having a druid here is nice.
I hate the idea of sending her out on her own, but
I'd fly with her.
but she also is technically like if she gets attacked, she's just poof. Whereas if you go out,
That's
and
why I
you
was-
get attacked,
suggesting Larry because he's the same. He's a fine familiar.
Right.
Familiar.
but from the air, it is less likely that she will get poofed.
Yeah.
I was just gonna falcon it up. That way I can dive.
I think
If you are
it's-
keen on going up, I will not stop you, but
it'd probably be safer if Kahamut went up.
Well, it seems like all of you at least have a
options.
semblance of a plan. I wish I could provide support, but again, because of the thing that's hunting us, we are constantly on alert.
I think reconnaissance would be a good idea first. Just so we know a little more about what's going on.
Could figure out.
And
which
we don't
one.
leave you high and dry on what is potentially a waste of time.
So basically, we've come down to we either need to do the bathhouse, the Blend bathhouse, or the Library of Cele first. We just need to figure out which one is more.
Is in more dire need.
How close to how close together are those two on the map?
So we have the bathhouse is probably about right here, right?
And you guys are roughly in this area. Yeah, this is where the bathhouse is effectively. The Library of Cele is probably about here.
So we're about in the midway.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
We could send I could send Kahamut and you could go in the other direction.
Yeah.
If you went to the because it
I
sounds
can just change my familiar's form into something flying.
okay.
I forgot I can do that.
Larry.
But if we send one of them, we could probably send one of the familiars to
Katie's on her way home.
to the bathhouse because it's more likely that that will be able to be attacked in the air. But it sounds like the library is mostly ground troops with the corpses, the borpses. So if you went there, you are less likely to be either noticed or attacked. And we could do it at the same time so we don't waste time sending them both around in a big
Alright.
circle.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
So are both the familiars going so that if one gets struck down, then there's or what's
Yeah,
okay.
that sounds like the plan.
And then I'm going to the library.
All right, so you're gonna polymorph, correct?
I'm going to polymorph into like a gray falcon so that I can hopefully hide in some of the smoke.
That's
One
fair.
of those, the little ones. What are those called?
Merlin.
No,
So I have to recast Find Familiar to change its form, and it's an hour cast.
well, I'll just send Kahamut then.
Okay.
Since she's always around. What are those fucking called? Peregrine falcons.
Oh,
They're
yes.
little.
That was kind of the plan.
They're little and they're fast as shit.
The fastest.
The plan
Red
was
River.
to be fast, small, and able to maneuver.
Yes. Little peregrine falcon.
All right.
Kahamut's pretty big, but she's quick.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, Comet's going to
The bathhouse.
bathhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and Myth, you are going to the library
Mhm.
for reconnaissance.
Wow, I fucking hate this.
Hey, you have more spell points than. Oh wait, no, never mind. You didn't take another level in Fullcaster. Actually, I still think that might be off. Hold on.
All right, so Comet, if I'm correct, you lose mental connection after a certain distance, but
Do you have a find familiar?
100 feet.
It's 100 feet.
Okay.
Can I still see through her eyes?
No.
No,
Okay.
you're gonna be better. It doesn't have the full description on there, so you're better off. That's
Which
why I just had it open.
But you could send it out, and when she comes back, she can communicate
yeah.
simple thoughts.
It's there somewhere. There. It takes up like a full half page.
I just want to make sure that
Clearly,
I
I need like 7 find familiar cards.
I'm gonna.
All right, we're gonna start with you. So I'm assuming. Okay. So who is helping Myth out of the sewer?
Somebody with hands, probably.
Yeah.
Is that going to be Nakane
Tom?
to help Myth get out of the sewers now that she's a
Yeah.
falcon?
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
would wait till like just by the thing and.
Yeah.
Nakane would.
And the guards would help direct you to where they know one of the
Yeah.
closest manhole covers is.
Quick question. So this says, as an action, you can temporarily dismiss your familiar. It disappears into a pocket dimension where it awaits your summons. Alternatively, you can dismiss it forever, blah, blah, blah. As an action, while it is temporarily dismissed, you can cause it to reappear in any unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. So if she gets to the bathhouse,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I guess I wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to tell.
yeah,
Okay, never mind.
you'd have no idea if you could.
Okay. I was just hoping maybe I could proof her back. That's okay.
God.
You've got clicky nails on your armor until you open the thing.
Yep. So Nakane lifts up lifts it up, and both Kahamit and Myth take off. And after Kahamit gets about 100 feet away, you feel that connection kind of.
He hates that.
Yeah. It sucks.
He's very attached to her.
All right, and so Myth, you go soaring off towards where you were directed that the Library of Sally
Staying
is.
about probably 150 feet in the air so
Yeah.
that I'm in the smoke banks.
Mm-hmm. And you're flying along. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I think I have advantage on those as a bird.
Yes,
right?
you do. You have advantage on all perception checks with sight.
I'm
Yay,
just trying to
Keens.
Across the board.
Yay, keen vision. Take it, that wasn't great. Unfortunately, you can't use lucky in this form.
11.
All right.
Probably enough to get me where I'm going at least.
Yeah, you're able to find where it is, and you do as you're soaring through. You are actually low enough that you'll be able to see this, and as you fly, there's a bit of a clearing right before.
I wonder what the perception score is.
What is yours? 5?
Yeah, mine's a +5.
That sounds about correct. I'm not gonna correct it. Yeah.
They actually have stats for Peregrine Falcon.
Oh wow.
Oh, bearded vultures are fast.
Its passive perception is 14.
Which means it has a +4 to perception. So 10.
Yep.
You didn't roll below 10, so that's good enough.
Uh-huh.
So you're soaring through, and eventually you come to this clearing right before the library to Selling.
90-foot fly.
Jesus.
And as you come over it, you see there are several ashen zombies just kind of swarmed in this clearing. But among them, you do see one that looks very different. It has a helmet that is on fire. And it is wielding a sword. And they appear to be waiting.
Are there any open windows?
No, actually there wouldn't be.
Okay.
They'd be trying to avoid
Open windows?
open windows.
Probably have water-soaked rags and all the.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be doing everything they can to keep smoke and heat out. Luckily, it's a library of Sele, which when Myth comes out of her bird form, she would know a lot of the libraries to Sele, they have a lot of protections, usually against fire.
Any chimneys?
Not on this building. They do not keep a fire going in this building. probably not. But you gathered some information. And the Library of Saleh is not destroyed.
Mhm.
So that's a bonus.
I don't know how I'm going to get back in. Probably wait for comment.
Yeah, so you'll probably fly back to where...
And land on a nearby roof.
You land on the manhole cover, peck, 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 peck.
God.
But yeah, so Comet will take off. Go ahead and just roll a perception check for Comet.
What? Kind.
We
don't have.
Let's do the Falcons.
Okay. What's
Just-
the...
+4.
Yeah,
+4.
just for simplicity's sake, we can look it up later.
Cool. Yeah, they definitely do not have a bearded vulture.
Well, they have
stats, I don't
vulture.
think. +4?
Yeah, we're gonna do +4.
21.
Okay.
Oh, did you know that Kahoma has pack tactics?
Yeah, I mean they hunt in packs normally.
That's horrifying.
Well, they're scavengers
Yeah.
and they eat bones, so
Yeah.
it's not like they're hunting.
And they not only have keen sight, but they also have keen smell.
All right.
Again.
Probably
Oh, so-
just not enjoying.
So actually, they Comet would roll advantage on that then.
Well, I got high enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna wait to tell you until Comet comes back. All right. So
They're fast as fuck. Also, I just did a little speed check.
yeah.
If we go by like feet per round or whatever, it's like the real life speeds of them. They would go like 600 and some odd feet, 660 feet per 6 seconds.
Wow.
It's bonkers. They're very fast. They're about 75 miles an hour.
Okay. So eventually, a while passes, and you're sitting there. My God, Comet's not nearby.
Yeah, tell us you're stressed.
That's what he's doing.
So, if I got back and Kahoma wasn't back,
Mm-hmm.
I would do a quick dart.
Yeah. Well, let me finish. So, you wait. And you wait. And you wait. You wait. And it feels like it's taking forever. And then you feel Kahamit reconnect.
Oh.
And you realize that what you had been doing was you were sitting there focusing on Kahamit and panicking. Not a lot of time has actually passed.
Yeah.
But for Tell, it felt like
Felt
forever.
literally forever.
But you feel Kahabet return. For you, it's roughly the same amount of time that you took, so it doesn't take long for Kahabet to get back.
Okay.
I just wanted to stress Mox out.
That's mean.
It's mean, but it's what Tell would be feeling.
Yeah, it is. He's so freaked out.
I would have also zipped up,
All right.
waiting for Kahama to see if I can get a nice overview of what's going on, since they have the whole can see a rabbit at a mile.
Yeah. There's fire. There's zombies. It almost becomes a stimulus overload. Actually, there's so much going on.
Are there any areas that seem like they're dead?
There are regions in the market district that seem relatively empty, and they seem to be further away from some of the from the Library of Saleh. There's a few points. They're more kind of grouped in regions rather than kind of evenly spread out. So when Myth would turn back, it's probably an indication that survivors might be in those areas. Because yay, zombies. But yeah, so you'd feel Kahamit re-enter your connection. And you'd kind of get that emotional communication of back in.
Back in. Thank God.
What's up?
It's not words, but
Right.
you get the basic premise.
Oh, she's back in the
Oh.
vicinity.
Okay, and Nakane would.
All right. Yep. Myth flies in. Myth is probably the first to fly in just because of Zippy and
That
Tiny.
nice football
And-
toss they get going?
And you see Comet was standing on top of it and kind of
She kind of
flutters off, and you kind of see the vulture walk.
with her fluffy legs.
Yep. And then she kind of drops in and flutters and flies up to you.
Good girl.
Yeah, she
She's
does
a
the
happy
slight cooing thing
The
that birds
happy
do when they're
noise.
yeah.
Meow.
And then Myth is back as a well. Myth is
Myth
here
gets
as a
back to the camp first. Myth wants to have the bad smell for as little time as possible. And I'm assuming that right by that camp it smells a bit better now from all of the presto.
a little bit, yes. So yeah, you but Comet kind of starts to express some of the feelings and because I think they can express simple thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I read in the thing.
And the gist that you get across is, well, one, much fire.
Many fire. Big fire.
Many fire. Many steam.
Okay.
And then it's hard to express. I'm trying to express this in the simplest way possible. But demolished. And demolished around. Magic dome.
Okay.
And that's what you're getting out of Comet.
Okay.
Interpret that as you will.
Okay.
That's the reason why I'm not telling you exactly what Comet saw
right.
because of its limited
She can't.
communication.
Yeah.
If only she had higher intelligence. So, Myth
Got
will.
that intelligence of 2.
No boy.
Hello. Okay, so Myth, are you turning back or
Yeah,
are you?
once she gets back
okay.
to the camp, she'll
All right. So
kind of step out of
yeah,
polymorph.
and that's when like all these kind of like thoughts of all of the
Connect.
information you process, and you're like,
Okay.
okay.
What you got?
The library is surrounded by a bunch of zombies. One of them seems to be leading the pack, but they seem to be waiting for some sort of signal. The library itself is pretty well intact. There are a few areas that are less intensely covered in the vicinity, so there are some places that survivors might be. One of them was by a red roof.
Okay.
Well, the bathhouse is, based on what I could tell from Kahemet, down. It's been demolished. What I got from her was that there's some sort of magic dome, possibly protecting the clerics.
Yeah.
Anti-magic field, maybe?
I'm gonna ask her if she saw living people like us.
This one she actually like visibly she shakes her head no.
Okay.
But you get the understanding that she's like couldn't see inside.
Okay. Okay, well, she couldn't see inside the dome, so I don't know if it was created by the clerics and they're still alive, or if it's something that's being created by someone else, like keeping the magic of the bathhouse inside. I don't know. But the bathhouse is down.
Alright, so it sounds like we should probably go get the people out of the Temple of Sele, which is what we were planning on
Well,
anyway.
Sounds like the Temple of Sele is safe right now, but the people in the Temple or the Blinn bathhouse are not safe currently.
Okay, so probably go there first.
Yeah, because if the bathhouse is down and they're purely surviving inside of a magic shell at the moment,
They won't last much longer.
we only have until either they run out of spell points or they fall
Something
asleep.
breaks through.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go there first.
All right.
I do hate to know what the signal is going to be to attack the library. Might be after the bathhouse.
Well,
But yeah, that seems like the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All of you I take it you guys are preparing to then leave the sewers
Yep.
and head to the bathhouse of Blinn. And just as you guys are about to leave, you guys hear a massive roar. It's in the distance, but you can feel it shaking through the ground.
Looks like it might be coming back.
All right, and that is where we're actually going to end for tonight. All right, we're going to open it up for questions, but we're also going to start the next giveaway, which I realize I need to pull up on my phone, because I can actually do it on my phone. So my first question for all of you, how did you enjoy this, and are you looking forward to what you have to do?
5 side quests.
Spooked.
I like 5
Yay.
side quests. Jade said that we should do a completionist run.
Give me just a second, sorry. Night. No, I have been... Oh my god. Oh, there we go. I had something for this.
Gussy Up would have been such a more convenient spell than prestidigitation for this.
Alright, so... the key word for this is sewers. S-E-W-E-R-S. And we're going to open it up for questions for the time being. So obviously the first thing I will always ask you guys is, well, I mean, I already asked how you guys enjoyed it, but are there any questions you guys have for me?
I don't see that the entry started in chat yet.
It does not actually post that.
Ah, okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
I don't have any questions.
I don't have any questions.
Yeah, you
Does
guys-
anybody in chat have questions?
you guys had a lot of questions during the game.
Yeah. But that was like for what?
Crucial information that was needed. That
Yeah, at that moment.
Have I been here before?
It's possible that Myth has been here during her travels with Bethel.
have I been here before?
You don't know that!
You want
Actually,
flip?
that's a roll.
You want to flip? Heads, I've been here.
Sure. Okay. High or low?
Heads.
Well, it's a D20.
That would be high then, I think.
You have not been here.
Okay. Just heard about it.
Yeah.
Did all the other adventurers at the tavern turn down the money?
Like all of them left except for one. When I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a demon dragon," they were all just like,
Oh, I'm out.
"Nah." At least that's what you told us. They all left, but the one group.
Yeah, only the one group stayed, and they took some of the information that you gave them. But you guys,
They might be around, but
you guys haven't heard anything from them yet.
Sunlight King is here. It's been a while since they've been here.
Welcome.
What was the ethereal creature Tel saw?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Jake's not gonna tell you. Jake,
Good
you should know that.
question.
But yeah, don't forget, enter sewers into chat
It's
for
gonna
a
come
chance
up again.
for some glow-in-the-dark dice. I'm gonna call these flame dice because, you know, they're
Okay.
orange and they're orange and red and yellow and they glow.
They're peach rings.
You don't eat these?
Fire peach rings.
Oh, have you guys actually seen?
Sour peach rings.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay.
Sour
Could you
peach
enter
rings?
in TTL Kickstarter? Exclamation point. Exclamation point TTL Kickstarter. So,
So far only one person has entered for the dice
yes.
that I've seen. You all should enter.
So actually, on a side note, speaking of tabletop loot, they're actually gearing up for a Kickstarter, and some of the samples they have of the dice that they've been working on look amazing. Oh, I am so excited. Yeah.
I'm going to actually go look at them again because I remember the Twitter feed.
Yes. So far, we only have one person who
Welcome
has
back.
entered for the dice giveaway.
So you're gonna come over and play with babies?
no, I had to go pick up Shane.
Ooh, the red crab nebula looks good.
Dice.
Tabletop loot Kickstarter.
Oh, can someone actually type it in chat so people
Fucking crab nebula, hell yeah, tabletop
can
loot.
see it? Yes.
I
They're
feel like
Dice
we're
makers
supposed
after
to-
my own heart.
Hell yes, tabletop loot.
yeah they
Are familiars vulnerable to night madness?
are they considered beasts?
No,
Then no.
they're considered spirits.
Then no. They're incapable of being affected by nightfall hysteria.
That would be fun.
Be messed up.
You
I
know
feel
what
like
else
we
would be
talked about that
fun?
once because I was like, ah, fuck, is Kahamut in danger?
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah,
It
that
also
first
would
time.
be really fun being in the sewers if somebody brought their dog with them and they got the nighttime madness in the sewers.
Yikes. Big
As
yikes.
as long as they're by
Like
light. Yeah, as
There's
long.
less of a chance.
Funny enough, this might be the last place you're gonna encounter something with nightfall hysteria because the island's on fire.
Yeah. Or if it hasn't, it's like that fringe case.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you'd find it in the sewers. Anyway, have a safe trip.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hopefully it doesn't snow too much.
Yeah.
Have
Let us know
fun,
when
don't
you
die,
get
be safe,
back.
use protection.
You're wild. You're wild. And I'll work on that tail stuff
Oh,
tonight.
yes, awesome.
Hopefully I'll finish it and then I can see it.
And I'll set ourselves up on Discord since Jake will probably forget.
The
Oh yeah,
rough
for
and
our
I'm gonna forget the name because I was actually
The tough and the horny.
I was all right.
Bye
Bye.
guys.
I was actually just gonna name it.
Are creatures who have been polymorphed into beasts vulnerable to night madness?
Yes.
Sure are.
Yep. In fact, there was a creature I recently added that. Well, so there's actually two versions of it. I didn't put one version, which is the one that results from a polymorphed creature. But the Leshy is a creature in my world from someone who has shapeshifted into an animal who experiences nightfall hysteria too many times. They become a Leshy, which is a horrible monster that you don't want to be.
This
I
doesn't
mean, you might not care about being it once you're it.
Oh, absolutely.
this doesn't pertain to anything that happened today, but it's just occurred to me.
Yeah.
Because you have wild magic in your world, wild magic areas. Is it possible to get permanency on accident through wild magic?
Permanency on action.
On accident.
On accident through wild magic?
Yeah, so say for instance, I'm polymorphed and I'm traveling through a wild magic area. Is it possible that because I'm traveling via magical means, polymorph, that the wild magic just makes it permanent?
I'm gonna say it's possible. The thing though is the likelihood of it.
Yeah.
So there is probably some fringe case somewhere where someone was flying through a wild magic zone polymorphed and they just couldn't not.
Jade had another question.
Oh?
When is Myth getting night madness?
When she decides to not stick by light. You actually, I don't think you've actually transformed too many times at night.
No, not much.
And also, nightfall hysteria doesn't happen with every creature that's out at night. It's actually somewhat random. There's some factors behind it, but
I can imagine it probably happens more to domesticated animals versus animals who are used to.
Nope.
Really?
nope. It is equal and
okay.
unbiased.
Equal opportunity.
Equal opportunist insanity.
Yeah.
We still have
And
only
the wild animals are more likely to get it since they're less likely to be by a light source.
we still only
Light
have
source.
one person who has entered. So
Remember to enter sewers if you want the
Yep.
dice.
type sewers into chat for a chance to win dice. Yeah, no. Nightfall hysteria has shaped so much of my world. I've had to go out of my way to change how cities are made and how people deal with not being able to go out at night.
Yeah. And you've had to deal with so many questions from me.
Yup. I've been doing my best to answer them.
Where it's like, okay, so if this happens, does this happen? And you're like,
When originally I had to ask Nind whether or not I had made a ruling on Nightfall Hysteria and the Wild Shape. My favorite answer to get back was, "You said you'll find out." I love getting answers like those. When past me decided to kick it down the road.
do you like my dice in a half shell?
So I'm just keeping the secondary spell sheet because not all of those spells will fit on my current spell sheet.
Oh, fun.
I only have space for 2 more first level spells on my spell sheet.
Question that's been taking up materials to copy over, correct?
Yeah, it's specified at 2 hours per spell level and 50 gold per spell level.
Okay.
So if I want to copy 5th level spells, it's 250 gold per spell.
Is there any interaction between lycanthropy and night madness? Gosh, we're talking about werewolves, super werewolves again.
No. Because a lycanthrope is not technically a beast. They are considered a monstrosity. Nightfall hysteria is explicit to beasts.
However, there are super werewolves.
Yes, because there are 2 moons in my world. And so when one of them becomes full, werewolves come out. But there's a second moon, and when it becomes full for like a month. And that's when both moons are full, that's when you get super
werewolves.
yes.
And those ones don't have any control of themselves.
Yeah! I actually have a name for them, and it's actually based on... I think it's just another name for a werewolf. But it's also slightly based off of Dresden Files, because they did something fun. Okay, I get it. You don't like it. That's not what I pull from it. But it's the Loop Guru.
Yeah.
I think it's just another name for a werewolf, but...
It's werewolf adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, werewolf is prevalent in so many different cultures.
Yep.
Yeah.
So...
And the Loop Guru is a little bit different than a werewolf in the mythology around it, but it's close enough.
But then again, I literally took Leshy from Slavic mythology and completely butchered it for my own means.
Yeah.
So...
Sort of like how I'm going to mess with the murder unicorn.
The murder unicorn.
That I will...
The
Yeah.
nightmare?
No.
Oh.
That was my first response. It's like an evil unicorn. A nightmare.
No, it's a unicorn that its horn can play music if wind crosses it or if it shakes its head. And that music can affect the emotions of creatures around it, causing them to kill each other. And then the unicorn will just eat what's left.
Yeah. Nightmare. Not the horse nightmare. An actual nightmare. All right.
They've been the mythology for those have been around since the 12th or 13th century.
That's horrifying. But anyway, I think we're gonna roll for who the winner is.
Hello, Marine.
What? What the fuck? That's weird. Okay. I need to double check something.
Okay. Are the steam elementals technically fire elementals or water elementals, or are they their own separate element?
Oh, Jesus.
He said, oh, Jesus.
My guess is probably their own separate thing because not all elementals fall in one of the 4 categories.
Congratulations, Dana.
Dana won.
All right. Yeah, sorry. Took me a second because I basically had to re-enter everyone who entered the giveaway and then just hit roll. Okay, there was the question about steam elementals.
Yes. Fire elemental, water elemental, or their own?
Kind of both. So I sort of do similar to what D&D does, which is at the borders of the different elemental planes, kind of forms a quasi-elemental plane. It's neither in one or the other. It's kind of the border between the two. So between fire and water is steam. And that's actually where those come from. So they kind of appear from either. So it's one of...
You had magma elementals.
You thought I wasn't gonna do that? You're sorely
I
mistaken.
do like that there are mud elementals, though.
Yes, there are definitely mud elementals. But yeah, so I think that's everything. If you have more questions, be sure to join our Discord. If you haven't, I still don't have a Discord button. I'm gonna write that down.
Got you.
Discord button. But yes, thank you all for joining us. I think we're gonna raid someone, aren't we?
I guess.
Might as well.
I'm really glad that we're done because like this last half hour got warm.
It's almost like we're in Falena.
Is there a place where all the elements converge? If so, what are the elements like there? Oh, the advantage I think was useful to you.
Yes.
What's your four corner elemental?
That is something I'm gonna have to kick down the road because I had something for it and I don't remember what it was. Oh, actually I do know what it is. It's called the material plane. That's why. Yes. Technically all of them converge, and they all converge onto the material plane. So I guess you could consider humans flesh elementals?
Whose phone is going insane?
Well, mine alerted me to the fact that it has
It's me
15%.
playing a phone game.
Huh?
It's me playing a phone game.
Oh.
Alright.
I don't.
Who do we got?
No one we normally raid is on.
Get a random one. I like that one that's down and to the left.
The 3 people?
Nope, the 3 people. Yeah. I like their lighting.
That's a rerun from Hyper RPG.
I tried. The one that's to the right.
Tales from the Gambler's Sea.
Interesting.
Love Zombie.
Loves.
Raid that one.
We're gonna raid Love Zombie. We don't know them, but that's fine.
We don't know anything about these people. Come meet some new people with us.
Yes. Because I think because all of our other people are
Offline.
yes. But anyway,
Gathering Raiders.
thank you all for joining us this week. Be sure to join us next week. 6. I think we are doing this at 6 p.m. now. 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes.
for episode 3 of The Flames of Falena, where they're all gonna go fight some elementals and zombies. And
Elemental zombies.
an unknown.
Alright. Let's go!
Bye.